Well, hello and welcome one and all to another night of Rocket League here on the NECC. Once again, I am Captain NECC, joined on the desk by none other than FBI Tugboat. Tugboat, we are well into this season. It's already getting litty. I mean, what else can we expect moving forward?
Hey, week 4, like you said, we're right into the middle meat of it right now, Captain NECC. A lot of high-flying Rocket League coming at you here soon. On the day, we have a triplet of high-flying matches coming at you. First and foremost will be Davenport Black taking on Mizzou. Mizzou looking for their first W so far. Carleton Ravens will be taking on the UCF Knights. UCF Knights also looking at a 0-1, looking for their first W so far in the season here for NECC, Captain NECC. Texas Tech and the University of Houston will be rounding out our day.
Yeah, again, a lot on the line for these teams. Again, first of all, just harping to our first matchup, we're looking at Mizzou, who's currently 0-3, and to be honest, I'm completely shocked that they're sitting at that record right now. Mizzou Esports, again, they have a great team. I think they have a great roster, and I'm surprised that they are still winless so far. And with that being said, you know, they are going up against Davenport tonight, so they are looking to get their first win on the board, but Davenport, you know, they are also looking pretty good themselves. So for Mizzou, this might be a tough one to try and get their first dub.
I completely understand, and I agree with you here, Captain. 1-2 Davenport looking to get up to 500 on this one, but they have already suffered the terrible, terrible feeling of defeat twice this season thus far. Mizzou looking for their first. I gotta say, Mizzou wins. They go 1-3 right here. That's the beginning, possibly, of a comeback. Obviously, there's plenty more matches to be played. Going to be best of 7s here, Captain NECC.
And you see, I actually love that. One, because we just get more Rocket League content. We get to watch more Rocket League. That right there in and of itself is a dub. But I like it because it also gives the teams more chances. At the end of a best of 7, there's really not a lot that's left up to question. Everything has been laid out on the field. Both teams had enough time and enough matches to really get a feel for one another. There's really no room for excuses at the end of a best of 7. The better team simply comes out on top.
This is true. This is true. Cam Bolte and not Tater but Brock will be making up this Davenport University Black squad. Shout out Coach Noah. Shane over there is providing support for this Davenport squad. Looking on it. Esports, we got Bubs, Frostbite, and Exodia here on the day. Exodia will be having some fun with that if I know Captain NECC. Holy God.
Yeah, wasting absolutely no time right off the rip. We are underway here to kick things off for another night of NECC Rocket League. As you can see, Mizzou now trying to take possession away from Davenport.
A triplet of takes right there from Brock. Looking really, really good early, honestly. That's a little bit of a miss, or maybe more so of a pass. Bolte swinging away from the fences on this one. It is all Davenport, all in the offense thus far, Captain.
Yeah, that's definitely what it's looking like. And again, you can see them inching ever so closer. Look at Bolte looking at Brock there. Nearly, the pass was on. Like, Bolte did their job. They got the pass on target. Unfortunately, it looked as though Brock may have been a little bit too close to receive the pass. But look at them working together, and the plan finally comes together. The first goal of the game for Davenport.
Dude, 51 seconds of hardcore offense finally pays off here for the Davenport squads. Captain, this was just passes on passes, and finally into a point. Everybody getting involved in that first goal.
And it looked so clean. It was so pretty. Speaking of pretty, how you like the fireworks there off that explosion? One of our earlier demos here. I mean, we're only a minute in. That's all it's been. It's been a minute, but I feel like it's been longer than that.
A single demo off of Kefalka just makes sense. Bolte sending this one down to nobody, unfortunately. Cam trying to come off the wall right here. Maybe even get a little ceiling action and goes for the demo right there. I love Cam's aggression.
Absolutely. Also, I'm liking Bolte being able to slow down the pace of the game. Like, yes, we've seen passes on passes on passes, but Bolte and Brock are also showing that they can slow things down and take in those solo possessions if need be.
Good hit against the ground. Mizzou gets possession, but doesn't really do a whole lot with it here, Captain. Frostbite just waiting in the wings and waiting for a teammate to come that does not. Exodia is sent to the Shadow Realm, or however you reference the show.
No, it was the Shadow Realm. You nailed it.
Oh, really?
100,
nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
100% to the Shadow Realm. Yes, life points hit directly in that regard. Meanwhile, Bubs going to be taking control. Gets swatted at the midfield line by Brock. Now double taps off the side. Gets deflected. Back down to the corner. Exodia is going to leave this one for their teammate. Then they get bumped out the way. And my goodness, Davenport, being oh so aggressive, will find the back of the net for the second time.
This looked dangerous, and I'm saying for Davenport, like right here, if this is a better hit, you have all three Davenport players that are really, really choked up on this one. A longer pass or even an on-center shot means a Mizzou-tied game. Not happening. 15 seconds outside of halftime, Captain.
Yeah, the rotations on that last play were just perfect. Like, every single first touch came from Davenport, from all three players, and now an opportunity for Mizzou on the counterattack, off the kickoff, trying to clear the way, getting two big bumps there, but unfortunately for Mizzou, they got absolutely robbed at the midfield line.
Just doing a great job picking the pockets right here. Some thievery going on for Davenport. They're consistently taking this ball away. Now maybe a little bit of offense. Cam, hey, if that had a little bit more momentum on it, Frostbite would have had their work cut out for them.
Yeah, a little more zip to the zop, maybe they could have got a shot. But still, just over 2 minutes ago, Davenport not in any danger here. They got the 2-goal cushion. They're feeling pretty good. And now Mizzou just have to make up some lost territory. That could have done it. That should have been it, Tugboat.
That should have been the first here from Missouri. I'm not sure if this is physical play or what from Davenport that made that a non-issue, but it was quickly relegated to page 13 of the newspaper that is this game.
That pass was beautiful. I wish my teammates passed that good. You know, when I'm playing ranked, because I solo queue, all right, I don't get any passes.
Right.
I really wish every day that my online randos would pass half as good as that we just saw from Mizzou.
I just want to get saves like that from Bolty. The passing to me, friends. Davenport has done a fantastic job of just stifling every single offensive drive, and even there, like, it's hard to even see what the Missouri offensive idea is. That was a fantastic job, but there's two people, one down low, one on backboard. Davenport's not going to give those up easily.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect them to. Bolty, though, just going to be handing out the demos for free. They're going to be giving up all the demos quite easily, apparently, as now Cam comes through with another save. You even mentioned it earlier, Tugboat. Their defense is looking immaculate.
You check under your chair. So you got one for you, got one for you. Everybody gets one. Bolty comes off yet again. That taxes rain from the sky, and Bolty being on backboard or ready for a defensive save.
And now dropping right back down to the mid. Touch goes away at Davenport. Cam off the backboard, looking for something sneaky. Not going to be able to get it as Exodia now tries to put the shot on, but Bolty comes away with a save and a Savior medal.
I'm not sure if that little wall play back and forth, little like, yeah, I'm hitting it quick to you, you're hitting it quick back to me was intentional, but that was the best offensive look that Missouri has seen so far. Recreating this in at least 3 of the next games would be ideal for them to come out here on top, because doing stuff like that, the quick passes, that will yield points, but this game, however, is over. Best of 7 doesn't matter too much at Capitol.
Yeah, like we said, that's game number 1 in the books. Davenport coming out on top to get on the board first, but like you had said, you know, in a best of 7, that's just the first step in a very long walk. But I mean, let's break down the stats for a minute here. You're going to be taking a look at 7 shots coming from the side of Davenport. Meanwhile, it's 6 from Mizzou. Not that big of a point spread. I mean, it's only a 1-shot difference.
It really is. The saves coming in from Bolty and Bubs being the big thing, but I want to focus on Bubs here. There's a reason why we just didn't simply say the name Frostbite very frequently. Only a single shot attempted. No offensive goals or assists. Obviously, the team got no goals right there, but nothing on the defense as well. I want to see Frostbite warm up a little bit and get involved here in game number 2 if Missouri is going to take this one and even up this series.
And to be honest, the only real difference, like, yeah, you could say that, you know, Davenport had 1 extra shot, but you got to keep in mind, there were also 2 extra goals. So where was the big difference maker? And honestly, I think the difference maker was the physical play, was the bumps, was the demos, which is why I think we also need to have that stat line in Rocket League, because honestly, if you had that stat line, I'm sure you would see an astronomical difference between the two. Davenport was literally lighting up their opponents like a Christmas tree. I mean, the fireworks were popping off. It was demo on demo consistently. And even if it wasn't a demo, it was like a slight bump. And all those little physical plays causes defensive confusion. You put people out of position and it leads to goals.
Absolutely. Even sometimes those minor of touches, the meters bumped or meters displaced or something like that, that's a stat that I want here within Rocket League. I'd love that. Oh my goodness, Frostbite Missouri coming out angry. The Tigers going to sink their teeth into this game number 2.
So far so good, but hang on. Bolty going to return the favor with a shot of their own. Bubs is there, though, to get the save. Now Brock has a teammate down low, just can't get to it before Exodia, who will now take control inside of Davenport territory and not going to be finding much leeway here.
Goes for a shot, goes for a demo, backboard and out, tries to get this one up, and the defender does bite on it, but then gets attention on it and gets really just gets a hold of it. Nobody on Missouri's side really able to get something done on that one. Now the Chow comes in, Exodia wins it, down to teammate Bubs. A fast one right there, and Cam reads it even quicker.
Yeah, and right now we're seeing somewhat of the same issue for Mizzou that we saw in game number 1, is that their opening is great. Their ability to drive down the field and, you know, turn defense into offense is great, but they haven't been able to finish. That's like their only problem right now.
Almost a dangerous position right there, but yeah, I have to agree. We're looking at 6.5, almost 7 minutes here soon. No scores on boards, just donuts here for Mizzou. They might taste great, but they're going to do nothing for competitive Rocket League.
I sure do like donuts, Tugboat. I actually don't. That was a joke.
You don't like donuts?
But regardless. Oh no, this one looking like it's gonna go in, and it most certainly does. Brock is able to clean up the mess and put this one on and in for Davenport.
Brock, the nice one right here. Gotta say, what are the powdered donuts in New Orleans called? That's what I was thinking about. Beignets. Are you a beignet guy? Big beignet guy? Or no?
But the thing is that they're not donuts though. They are beignets. There's a big difference between like a powdered donut and a beignet. It's like, I'm telling you, you would taste it. Like as soon as you actually like taste beignets, you'd be like, this is nothing like a donut. Especially, you know, again, there's no fast food beignet. Like you can't get them at a drive-thru. Okay, they got plenty of fast food donuts. The quality is just completely different. But you know, I can go on a tangent. All right, you bring up beignets and you start a problem. All right, but regardless, it's not going to be a problem for Brock as Brock finds their second goal in game 2.
Got 2, gonna be flirting with the hat trick here soon. This is just wide open after this Missouri defender does miss it. One of them is taken off the wall by physical play, and that is just the same song we've been singing 1,000 times over, it seems, here for the Davenport Black squad. They've been getting the physical play in here, and they've just been making even minor touches matter. Nicely done, Bubs! Answering with a loud one, almost 7.5 minutes scoreless. Now interrupted here as Bubs gets Missouri on the board.
And there we go. That's like the hardest part, you know, getting that first goal on the board, because even going into, like you had mentioned, like 7.5 minutes, they come into the second game scoreless, so you have to break that drought. You know, you allowed 4 unanswered goals. Finally, Mizzou able to strike back. Now they have a little taste of victory, and that's going to boost their momentum and their morale.
Absolutely, dude. Absolutely. Like, that's all what this is about, right? Like, keeping that morale and mentality up and positive here. Halftime now, only 1 score difference. This is the same situation that Missouri was in the last game, but obviously without a score. This is so much more doable than it was before. And a solid job, at least spending a solid bit of time on offense, but Brock just always seems to be the difference maker in this game, Captain. Fair statement?
Oh yeah, it's definitely seeming that way. So far, you know, still got 2 minutes left. Still some play potential to be had here, but you're right. It has been Brock more often than not just on the offensive side, but on the defensive side as well. You know, Brock is just having a game here in game 2.
Almost batted an off-center shot. Not done, though. Brock following this one up as well. I'm sorry, Captain. What were you saying?
I was simply agreeing with you.
Oh, well, that's good. I like it when people agree with me. It's easier.
Meanwhile, Bubs, and you know what? We're speaking about Brock. I feel like Bubs has been showing out for Mizzou in the same way that Brock has. And necessarily, you know, it's not because, you know, they're getting big points scored. Like, clearly, Mizzou only has 1 goal on the board so far. But whenever there is a big play being made coming from Mizzou, I feel like Bubs is usually in the middle of it.
Bubs has been getting a lot done for the offense. I mean, just the simple fact that the difference in shot attempts that have been, honestly, like real pressure, a triple tap from Brock. You got to get the teammates to help you out with those sometimes, my friend. I mean, yes, they've been doing like a lot for the offense here from Davenport, but they showed in game number 1 that it's not just Brock, that they can get it done in the scoring assignments.
Absolutely, and here still Davenport with that 1-goal lead. About 45 seconds remaining. They link up on the pass, and Cam get the 2-goal cushion for Davenport.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Looking dangerous. Now, this is the same situation, albeit no scores on the board for the side of Missouri. It's got to feel better, you know, 1-3 versus 0-2. They just have to make this happen again. And a lot of this is coming down to how much time they're spending in the offensive third. Like how many honest offensive attempts that should have gone in right there. That should have been a better angle, and that should have been Missouri putting one up with 40 seconds left and 1 score difference. I mean, we got to call it like we see it, right? I mean...
Oh, yeah. 100%. No shame in your game by any means, Mike. No shot. Like, there's no way that goes in. That would have been absolutely insane. 20 seconds remaining. Big demo there from Balti. Who else but Balti? As this one goes off the backboard, not going to be any good. Balti again on the back end, looking for Cam all the way upfield, and nearly finds the back of the net.
Crazy, crazy. Not gonna, I mean, maybe another score. It's not going to be for lack of trying. I'll tell you that much. Exodia comes in, tries to send the mail, not going to happen. Stuffed at the door. Grounded ball, 3-1. Same score difference, but not the same scoreless scoreline here for... Scoreless scoreline? Scoreless affair here for Missouri. You know what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I got it. And then again, another fun fact. It is still this time it's an even score line, 6-6. Last game, what was it, like 6-5, you know, somewhere in there was like a one-shot difference, right? But this time it's even. It is an even score line, and yet Davenport come away with a 2-goal lead. This time, clearly, the difference was in the save. You had 4 saves coming from Davenport, only 1. One registered save coming from their opposition from Mizzou, and that is unfortunate. That is really unfortunate because you had the same shot count, and the only difference maker was the defense.
I'd say another big difference maker is just how these shots were dispersed as well, right? Like your main shot taker here for Missouri, when you do this 2 games in a row, it's just going to be easy to read out, right? 4 of the 6 total shots from Missouri comes from the same player. 2, 2, and 2, though, from Davenport. This is a split offense. This means that they're all getting honest opportunities. Now, of course, given that, you know, there are certain shots, and you have saves on the other sides, and then only some of them went in. Obviously, not all of them were true, like genuine shots. Some of them got blocked by wall or whatever else. We're close enough to register as attempted shots, but not enough. But the simple fact that there was 2, 2, and 2 tells me plenty that I need to know about Davenport. Now they've figured out how to play as a well-rounded team.
Absolutely. Everybody's getting touches on the ball. Everybody's getting a chance to score. Game number 1, it was Balti. Game number 2, it was Brock. And they're getting goals. They're making plays. And there's nothing better than watching the teammates meet up in the middle. Like on that last scoring play from Davenport, it was a beautiful pass in the mid, and both of their players met up in the mid and got a beautiful pinch, or a little bit of a pinch, to go into the back of the net. And now another one will go. Brock is gonna set us off again.
So Frostbite takes it away, runs out of boost right here, and Brock just gets a perfect angle. This is actually against the ground as well. Exodia, maybe a little on them for not trying to meet that in midair a little bit, because it looks like they were shooting like they're trying to put it like slot at top right, but just bounce it against the ground, and you have nothing more than a front row seat. You get it scored on. 30 seconds in, Davenport goes up.
Yeah, look, they're looking for another one. They went for the pass. It looked as though they were going for a pass, but maybe a little bit of miscommunication there. They had to give up possession. And, you know, sometimes you do have to give up possession. Unfortunately, not that time. That is not the time to give up possession.
Cam against the wall right here, and that's just a straight-up miss. That's just going to happen sometimes. It's obviously going to feel way worse for a Missouri squad staring down the barrel of a 0-3 season and 0-2 as of right now. Now, in the series, in 0-2 within the game. Just a sheer block from Brock. I think teammates were rounding around trying to pick up boost.
I mean, we've already seen some pretty great boost management coming from the side of Davenport, which is something we really haven't harped on too much, just because Davenport, you know, they have been, you know, excelling in multiple areas here, but their boost management has been really good. They've been boost starving Mizzou in very crucial moments. And again, it's one of those elements, one of those details where if you blink, you miss it.
Rocket League for you, bud. This is Rocket League. Throw an exclamation point on the end. 90 seconds in. A little bit of demo action comes out. There's a solid attempt. It's just a little bit too far outside. Defenders were not expecting that angle. I hate to continue saying it, but there's so many times Mizzou should have scored, and it's just like the difference of like a third of a meter. Like right here. There you go. Okay.
Exodia got it to go, but I couldn't agree more. This should be a tie game right now. It really should. And they're literally hitting the sidebar, the crossbar, everywhere but the back of the net. You know, and Exodia able to get it to go, that's great. But like you had mentioned, there were so many other opportunities that Mizzou really are going to want back, and they're going to have to watch in the replays to see how they no longer let those opportunities go.
Frostbite. Chalk up 1, now 2 assists in the space of about 20 seconds, 15 seconds or so. It's a slow bouncer. We're going to take it, though. That is going to count. 2-2. Not talking about dresses here, Captain Netsoka.
Yeah, right now, Mizzou is living and dying by the crossbar. Like, when it misses and goes off, it's because of the crossbar, the sidebar, and when they make it, it's literally kissing off the crossbar and going crossbar down. Honestly, I love to see it, because to me, hitting bar down is just such a satisfying goal to hit.
Oh, yeah. It's basically like saying, like, your calculations were incorrect and mine were right. Oh, wide open. My goodness. Missouri enjoys a post-score tie game for the first time in this series, and it is quickly eliminated. Maybe 30 seconds between Davenport, losing the advantage and taking it right back.
And you know what? That's another statistic I'd be very interested in seeing, and again, if we could keep track of how many crossbar and sidebar touches were there. And not just including the ones that miss, but including the ones that make it too. Just overall, how many bar touches were there? Because it doesn't seem as though Davenport hits the side or crossbars at all when they take shots. I've even seen them hit an upper 90 shot, and it didn't even hit the corner.
That is some deep stats right there, Captain NECC. I think we might be looking at Rocket League 2077 for that one. I'd love to have it, though. Seriously.
Well, Balti gonna be going off the backboard, looking for Brock, able to find one another, but there you go. There went one over towards the side. Gonna go a little wide for Davenport, as once again Balti at the midfield line, able to keep the pressure onto Mizzou. Exodia now trying to break through the mid, but Davenport's just not having it.
An attempted pass, I believe that was to Bolte earlier. Yeah, now Bolte staring on the barrels, 0 boost. Isn't the offensive? Can he get it done with the 12? They cannot, unfortunately. Just going the other way. Cam sending it on over to Missouri. Brock double tap against the corner right now. That's not really the kickoff that he wanted on this one. That's going to be an attempted pass. Frostbite beating down the barrel to try and get down there, and it's just another giveaway, man.
And just now it looked as though that Cam was going for, something musty. Unfortunately, it didn't look as though that they got the reset on that initial touch, but definitely would have been nasty. I like the way that Cam is thinking right now with the ball. Again, the ideas are there for Davenport on the offensive side. See if they can execute with just a minute left to go. 1 goal lead still in the favor of Davenport.
Oh, speaking of, Cam is lurking in the waters and misses. Doesn't get the touch that he wanted. Maybe had been anticipating an opponent's touch on the other side that never came, but still, you got to finish on those. What a screaming shot there! And Cam, from the offense to the defense, Cam, another save! Doesn't get credit with it. I have witnessed a robbery, Captain.
It happens all the time. Like, what definitely was a save does not register as a save. It's just, Rocket League being Rocket League. That's just car ball. But meanwhile, you see Brock coming back with a Savior medal. And I got to say, this has been more of a defensive game. It feels for Davenport because Brock just got themselves a Savior medal.
Yeah, especially just because so many of these scores have come off of, converted possessions based. Oh my goodness, it's right there! Tie game! This did not look like it was happening. Bubs with their 6th shot attempt finds the 2nd here from Missouri. This is mostly from Exodia West, of course. You gotta, team-based game. You gotta finish those up. We're practically guaranteed overtime.
You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and call it a captain stat. I don't want to be that guy, but I am in fact, Captain NECC, so I gotta be that guy. That last shot that Mizzou made to send us into OT hit the bar twice. So chalk it up to the bar stat. That's 2 for Mizzou.
Davenport right here gonna have to renegotiate contracts with the crossbar and stuff. Oh my goodness, this is almost it again. Oh my goodness, Bubs almost came in with a screamer to send this series to 1-2 after a short overtime. Not gonna happen that quickly, though. Will it now? Oh, what a save again! Oh my goodness!
Who's to say that, I guess, Davenport can use the post, too? They are able to get that one out just by slamming the sidebar.
Oh, goodness,
but this time, Bubs is going to go right under to secure the first win of the series for Mizzou.
Nice hit. Exodia purchases this wide open with a minor little bump. We were talking about it earlier, Captain. Got to mention this one again. Doesn't always have to be a 100-mile-an-hour demo. Just a tiny little bump right there sets your defense absolutely just useless. Just can't do anything about it. Sends it right over the head right there. Bubs, 7 shots, 3 goals. Somebody get this man a cap.
Yeah, and you know what was really, really funny is that we even said, like, during regulation that this felt like a defensive game for Davenport, and come to find out the stats back the facts. I mean, my goodness, you're looking at 12 shots coming from Mizzou, 3 coming from Davenport, but, you know, in their defense, they got 3 goals. They were shooting at 100%. But, you know, at the end of the day, you know, possession in that game was all Mizzou.
Yes. So not just possession, they turned it into that because, I mean, every single time, they didn't get a single save. It was not one single save for Missouri right there. It was all aggression, all the time, pedal to the metal. They took it down in overtime. Now, will we see the same kind of just, like, really just push it all in, like, all the chips right to the middle right there, and we're going to put it all into aggression. If we're just constantly attempting to score and they can't possibly send it back the other way type of mentality from Missouri. Now, I would say I'd love to see it, but it's not exactly sustainable, is it, Captain?
Yeah, no, honestly, it is not. It's a double-edged sword. That's why you got to really find the balance because, again, like we saw with Davenport, you know, maybe they played a little bit too much defense. Maybe they stayed back because they were forced to shoot at 100%. That's insane. Shooting at 100%. That is a risky way to play. But it's the same to be said on offense as well as here we go. There's that explosive offense that we have seen from Mizzou and see again here in Game 4.
Okay, here's a stat for you, Captain. Throwing numbers against the wall here, see what sticks. This is the first time Missouri has been in the lead, period, ever, right? They were, I mean, they technically took a lead, so they're, you know, in the lead for a tenth of a second or wherever it takes the game to register or whatever, Game 4 after the overtime, but never actually in the lead until right now. That's pretty crazy. 4-second goal in.
Man, right now things are looking a little shaky. Bub's able to take control, gets 50'd out by Brock, and now long clear going to go the other way. Frostbite is there, gets the touch to get the save, and now they're going to clear it away.
A wall pinch, assists on the ball movement right there, but Cam easily picks this one up as Bolte gets taken down. Attempted pass, Brock actually kind of hits their teammate right there and guarantees that neither of them can get this one done. Now that's the kind of interrupting plays from Brock that I was looking for.
Yeah, I'm liking what I'm seeing from Mizzou now. They're playing with a lot more confidence. I mean, that win had to have felt good. And now you can see not only are they playing with more confidence, but look how much they've slowed down the pace. Now it's not all about that explosive aggression. Now they're being a little bit more methodical.
Wise decision, leaving a player back on that one. Brock, last line of defense, and comes in handy there. Even post-aggressive demo for the side of Davenport. Bubs and the rest of Missouri is doing a fantastic job of playing this midfield and interrupting either attempted passes or an offensive conversion, like just kind of coming to their side of the pitch and trying to get something going. I'm not sure if Missouri has spent 10 seconds in the defensive side. Okay, I thought that was going to be bad.
I thought so too, but Mizzou does what Mizzou does best, and that's hit the sidebar. So it wasn't going in. Still 1-0 in the favor of Mizzou. Just over 3 minutes. Davenport struggling to find their first goal here in Game 4. Nice little flick over towards the pass. Not going to be completed though. Interrupted by Mizzou, and now we go the other way.
Cam doing a great job. Did you see that? Picking up both big boosts along the side, so opponent right there had no opportunity to get aerial with them and actually challenge that one. A decent, I mean, that literally equaled out. That literally translated into, until now, relatively neutral possession. Now Davenport Black having possession and trying to get aggressive with it. This is their varsity squad as well. Obviously, multiple Rocket League teams fielded here for Davenport, but this is their top squad.
Well, let's see if they can stay on top here in the series as Mizzou looks to equalize. 2 minutes and 20. Mizzou still holding on, and I gotta say, this is so far one of our lower scoring games. I mean, each of our games have ended in at least 2 goals. Let's see if we can keep it there as Bolte gets that one to go off the pass from Cam.
75 miles an hour, gonna have to write a ticket. That one in most American states. My goodness, Exodia gets nothing more than a little breeze going past, and this just goes rocketing right across the top. 2:11, plenty of time left, and there will be one more score, one way or another.
Exodia now taking control, gets bumped for their efforts, and again, that's why it's important to always go up, because even if you can't get to the ball, you can still take somebody out in the process.
Yeah, physical plays. They've reigned the day so far. There's no reason to believe it won't happen again. A reset attempted, nice pass, and this is actually kind of like this is more of a shot kind of disguised as a pass, right? Cam gets the hit right there, sends this one over. Teammate kind of jumps up for it, and Bubs is assuming that this is coming way more towards the middle.
That was like a hybrid between a ground pinch and a slap shot. Like, it wasn't a ground pinch, but the reaction time for the flick was so fast that it just put extra zip on the ball. So again, that was just perfect timing by Cam.
Needed just that extra tiny little bit. And again, Missouri hitting the crossbar, and defense gets held up. Some fantastic blocking as Exodia putting up the deuce. That's 2 shots and 2 goals. Fantastic stuff. Look at this.
I'm telling you, live or die by the crossbar. I mean, like, you know, hey, all of Davenport thought that was going in, so they jumped at it, right? It pulled like 3 defenders on that one touch, leaving a wide open shot on the follow-up for Mizzou. So even when you hit the crossbar, you could still create that secondary opportunity, and now we have ourselves a tie ball game.
Wall pinch right here. Bolte scared to actually bite in on this one. That would have gotten a fantastic and open, clear sight line. Speaking of last line of defense, and Cam right now got to get a hit out, and does to Bolte. Nicely done.
Yeah, and I'm seeing Mizzou really adapt to a lot of the passing plays coming from Davenport, because it's always going towards the mid, and there's really not too many backboard passes except for Mizzou. I was saying there's not too many backboard passes for Davenport, but there are some for Mizzou. Big pinch, and we will definitely take those. Exodia was there and ready.
Yeah, Davenport just going to have to work on getting back to the defensive side of this pitch quicker. That has been the result of several Missouri scores, not just in this game, but overall in this series. And fortunately, this is an easy problem fix, but the real problem that faces ahead of them, of course, is a 1-score deficit.
And they are running out of time. 35 seconds. Mizzou looking to put another one on. Gets the flick. It will not go in. 50 back in towards the corner. Mizzou creeping up on the net. Gets it to go off the backboard. Bolte now able to take possession and finally get this one inside of Mizzou territory. Cam able to find the equalizer.
This looks like it's going to be Bolte coming down off the bottom, like Cam is just going to let this one come off a backboard and land right in front for a nice hit. Realizes that, these Missouri members are just simply spread a little bit too much right here. Equalizer coming in, 19 seconds. I can taste overtime, Captain. I can taste it.
I still can't get over of how pretty that shot from Cam was. Because, again, it was the initial pass from Bolte to the mid, and then Cam just threw it up to themselves. And now Exodia, with a wide open net, just walks this one right on in for Mizzou.
Dude, this is Exodia's game stamp on it. Texas hat trick. That's 4 goals, 4 shots as well. Call him Mr. 100. That's crazy.
Yeah, nice little cheeky bump, too, there from Mizzou in order to clear that one out. And again, Exodia just always happens to be in the right place at the right time. We call that good positioning. As now Mizzou look to even up the series. Time has expired. Mizzou able to get their second win on the board.
Same scoreline, different overtime situation. Missouri still gets it done. Let's take a look at these numbers. The numbers, Mason. 11-8, so not anywhere near as big a deficit. But obviously, we have the big offensive difference maker, and that was Exodia. Stamp it on them. 3 of these goals for Exodia's 4 assisted as well, so you do love to see that.
Yeah, and like you had mentioned, it's not that big of a stat difference. You know, you're looking at 11 shots. I want to say it was 8, coming from Davenport. But you also got to keep in mind, not only was Mizzou leading in the shot count, but they led in the save count as well. I'm pretty sure they were close to doubling the save count. Again, I wasn't able to catch it quickly, but that's what it appeared to be. I mean, it was definitely a significant difference in the save count. So in that game, Mizzou was beating Davenport on both sides of the ball. So again, when you're talking about individual stat lines, no, it's not really that big of a difference. But when you put them together, when you put the saves and the shot count together, it does start to reflect why the scoreline was the way it was.
100%. The best news for Missouri now is that they've been able to get it done, not just in back-to-back games, but, I'm saying 2 games, right? 1, all offense, all the time, throw it all against the wall, whatever sticks, awesome, right? Get it done in overtime. The second one is a much more well-rounded Rocket League performance here. outside of the one fact that all of the goals, literally all of the goals and the vast majority of the shots came in from Exodia, from Missouri, right? Split this around a little bit more, share the ball around, have Exodia pass a little bit more. I'm not talking about no scores for Exodia by any means, of course. We just saw what they can do. But just pass the ball around a little bit more and have these goals spread out a little bit more, like 1-2-2, something like this. 1-1-2, something like this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Exodia's positioning was absolutely phenomenal. Like I said, they were always in the right place at the right time, and that is not luck. That is not fortuitous. That is what I like to consider field and situational awareness for Exodia. And honestly, that is actually mostly a defensive attribute, and Exodia, again, was able to use it well on the offensive side of the pitch.
Attempted pass, Bolty Brock, not going to happen. Davenport, a little sluggish offense here and early, despite the opportunities. Brock, the player, back. Bolty should be able to meet. No boost necessary to get on top of this one. Now Bolty, with almost full boost, gets it taken away, and Brock taken down in the back. Possession is going over the way. Missouri coming up with quick 2 demos. Maybe you sense a theme here, Captain.
Yeah, I'm starting to realize that as well. We're seeing some early headhunting coming from Mizzou, and you know what? I can dig it. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what that was, honestly. Again, it's one of those moments where you blink and you miss it.
Yeah, not 100% sure what either player was really thinking right there. It is what it is. Davenport, Black still on the defensive. Ham just barely dodging death down bottom, and because they dodged and jumped up too soon, Demo doesn't hit, doesn't have to here, Captain.
All right, so Exodia's just popping off, you know, let him cook. that was great. You'll love to see it. We were already talking about Mizzou kind of, you know, headhunting a little bit, going for these physical plays, going for the bumps, and now Exodia able to get the shot and the bump on the follow-up, and just like that, Mizzou able to take a 1-goal lead and position themselves to take a lead in the series.
I realized what I was confused about. I do this all the time. Exodia's car is blue. Wow, Cam. Okay, what a way to tie this one back up. I was confused earlier because Exodia's car is actually the blue, even though they are, of course, in the orange team with Missouri. Do it literally all the time. Literally all the time.
I was about to say, that's 100% deliberate.
I don't know. It always throws me off in my competitive games. It is what it is, though. Was it 5 scores across 6 minutes or so here for Exodia? Crazy stuff. Cam is having similar kind of performance, but nowhere near the same success rate.
And then, you know, it's something that you harped on a little bit in the previous game, is that Exodia, they were definitely the point scorer, right? But we didn't see a lot of assists. I feel like when Cam scores, it comes off of a lot of assists.
Yeah, like, look at this, right? Everybody, again, by Davenport getting involved. Bolty puts this down here, Cam right here, and I believe, yeah, and of course that was other teammate Brock down bottom trying to get trying to get like that hit, that what am I trying to say? Physical play. That's what I'm trying to say. Sorry. Cam, a slow roller. Okay, Bub still gets there easily. Okay, it's just a little dangerous for a second.
Yeah, speaking of dangerous, Brock got a little frostbite there. Got absolutely demolished as Davenport, for the first time in what feels like, you know, a hot minute, they have the lead back. Because Mizzou was just on an absolute tear. I mean, I feel like they ulted, right? You know, come game 3, they decided to use their ult. And Davenport finally back in the driver's seat.
Love to see that, dude. Love to see Rocket League with cooldowns and ults. Something like that. I'm not really sure what abilities you'd have, but it'd be at least a fun side game. You got my mind whirring on this one, Captain. Cam down bottom tries to get a hit and does. Bub sends a skyward for a teammate here as Cam getting it back in the aggressive fronts right now. Exodia sends potential offender flying right now as Frostbite tries to tee off, and this one does not. Cam in the aggressive position again. This has gotta make you feel nervous.
Oh my, and that one coming out the corner there was a great setup, but Davenport caught in mid-rotation, not able to capitalize. 2 minutes remaining. Brock with the pass down to the mid. The spacing wasn't quite there for Davenport. Not going to be able to connect, but again, we talk about that transitional prowess, and Davenport has been really good on the transition here in Game 5.
They really do. It's just the quickness with it too, right? Like, they're expecting these physical plays. Okay, now just walking the dog all the way in. Easy peasy. That's the easiest of Exodia's this thing on 6 goals of the past 6 Missouri goals. Like, what is going on here, dude?
Is this thing on? Yeah, I mean, Exodia is on. Exodia is hitting. I mean, my goodness. Like, and like we had mentioned, you know, we're also trying to keep track of the assists because, again, at the end of the day, no matter what, it is a team effort. But as far as the goals are concerned, they just keep coming up Exodia.
Things coming up roses. If your name is Exodia, Mizzou gets a more standard defensive block on this one. Back towards the middle. That's a great job from Exodia. Now, is that a savior medal? Is that what I saw right there? Exodia does get demoed for their efforts. Brock with a 2-piece. Call it 1 tap, then 2. Brock getting it in here for Davenport, and they're doing exactly what I said that they needed to do to bring this game back, and that is well-rounded Rocket League. Each player getting involved in the offense.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. Again, that was just another assist, and it feels as though all of Davenport's goals are coming off of assists. So, like you had mentioned, every single player getting involved, everybody getting their touches, everybody going for the challenges, and it has been paying off. But with that in mind, it is only a 1-goal lead. 1 minute to go, and what was looking to be a filthy musty flick gets saved.
Cleans it up right there. Oh, this is... Okay, never mind. Brock does come in for the left side. I was looking for that one. Here's a pass. Bolte! Oh, they were not coming anywhere near as fast enough to get some high-flying, crazy action on that one, unfortunately. Missouri now back in the offensive thirds. Easy hit, but Bubs isn't going to have a whole lot of boost until, of course, they pick up the big corner right here. Had not quite spawned back. Bubs trying to get this one going for the wall. Missouri, they seize that 30 seconds, and they know how categorically this offense has got to change here in a second for them, whereas Davenport doesn't see a reason to take their foot off the pedal.
Yeah, it looks as though Davenport playing a little cautious this time. You know, they're trying to run this clock out. They're giving a little bit of space to Mizzou, so that way they can rotate. So that way they can rotate the defense a lot quicker. But at the same time, you don't want to give Mizzou too much room because they can and will score. Final second now gone. As this one should hit the dirt and does. Davenport able to take the lead back here in the series.
2-0, 3-1. Both of those are Davenport. 3-4 in overtime as well, folks, for Missouri. Then 3-4 in game number 4. And we have a lead back here for Davenport after they enjoyed the 2-0 start. This right here, Captain, this is why we play best of sevens, man.
Well, you know what? Let's look at the stats real quick because I'm going to ask you. We're looking at the shot count. You got 6 from Davenport and 6 from Mizzou. Looking at the save count, 3 apiece. 3 apiece. So the only real difference maker is the assist. You got Balti coming up with 2 assists for a total of 3. Yeah. That's the only difference is the assist count. But other than that, what really is the big difference between the two? I mean, more often than not, when we're like dissecting, trying to analyze games, we look at the shot count, we look at the saves. Those are our big 2 go-tos, right? Okay, assists, great. You know, you saw 3 coming from Davenport. You only saw 1 of the 2 coming from Mizzou. But really, I mean, even just with the assist diff, I don't feel like that explains enough how it was Davenport was able to get the upper hand. I feel like there was more going on underneath.
Yeah, it's hard to like pull some kind of facts from those numbers given just how even-handed they were. When you start talking about your assist ratio, that's how you know you just had a very, very clear game and very like, you know, even-handed game where anybody could have taken this one down. Now possible match point as we get a pair of early demos and Cam comes out yet again. Cam is just scamming on these early goals, dude. It's crazy. It's crazy how often these have happened. And like Brock, yes, they get an assist right here, but this wasn't like a straight up pass or nothing like that. It was just because Brock was the first to touch the ball off the kickoff, right? Yeah, and then had a follow-up demo as well. So again, you know, they literally just, you know, held the W key, if you play keyboard and mouse, off the kickoff, and just as quickly, Exodia again gets the goal for Mizzou. Is this a demo as well? No, I'm not 100% sure. I'm not sure. It wasn't Cam, obviously. I don't think it was. Yeah, I think it was Brock. I'm not sure where Brock is going. They're literally like cutting the field, going to pick up boost as this ball is like literally passing in front of them. An early mistake here for Davenport, and Missouri's going to take, well, not the lead back. They're going to tie this one back on up. Cam sends it to the corner and tries to buy themselves a little bit of wiggle room to get this out.
And, you know, I got hyped once again because, you know, I saw Exodia score, but I also got to give a little light to Frostbite there. because they did get the assist. But now Cam is going to go ahead and score again. This time it's Balti with the long ball.
My goodness. So this is just, I mean, both sides, I feel like this has been offensive prowesses that have come out for a player on each of these teams. Well, you can't talk about Davenport without mentioning Cam in that same sentence. 2 shots, 2 goals. That was a 3rd shot and almost went in. Frostbite had to get backwards with it, little bicycle kick to get this one blocked. Solid shot, not quite a goal yet. Cam again in a block. Okay, Exodia follows this one up. It's going to be Exodia with 2 shots and 2 goals.
Okay. Let's not keep track of how many times we touch the bars, because we're going to be here all day. However, with that being said, we are going to keep track of the score. 2-2 tie ball game. And my goodness, that was just this is for both teams here. I'm not picking a favorite, but it was just an absolute mess in front of that net for like the last 5-10 seconds.
Dude, I have to agree with you. I don't even know how Brock got that angle onto it, but they did regardless, and it was just a really short. Well, actually, I'll just send this ball the other way. How about that one? Cam looking dangerous again. Plenty of boost to get this one done. Another hit from the ground to maintain possession. This is sent to the corner. Now it's the rest of Davenport Black's opportunity to try and get this ball centered.
I'll be honest, my thumbs are hurting just watching Cam maneuver and nearly getting another goal. Good bicycle save coming from Frostbite there. Gets the epic save to boot. And now Bubs gonna be tossing it up to their teammate. Cam back out towards the mid. Exodia drops back, gets the hundo boost to go. Brock trying to push ever so forward. They get the flip reset off the backboard. The follow-up shot, not enough spice on it there, Tugboat.
Yeah, so after the reset, I'm not sure if teammate thought they were going to be able to reset and kind of continue the trajectory and momentum of this ball. Regardless, teammate wasn't fully like in position, even though they had the boost and skills to pay the bills.
And then speaking of, look at Bubs trying to go all the way downtown, and I don't even know how Brock saves that. Like, clearly, yes, you know, you put your car in front of the ball, you get a save, but you got to keep in mind, Bubs was slamming that one back home. So not only did they have to, you know, get in front of the ball, they had to get in front of Bubs as well.
Great 1v. Successfully won there from the defender. Pair of demos ringing out again. I sound like a broken record. My goodness. How many demos, dude? We have to be in the 20s by now.
If not more, to be honest. If not more. And honestly, they have had... Yeah, they have had a big impact on this game, too. I mean, a lot of the goals that we are seeing have been as a result of the physical plays. Heck, we saw Exodia literally get a goal by bumping someone out of the path of their own shot. So, yeah, I mean, the physical plays have been a huge difference maker in a lot of these games. Meanwhile, we're getting right back to it, and already Mizzou stepping up on defense to keep this one out.
Well, they're going to have to. They're on match point, serious point, and they are playing like it. Big boost picked up from this Davenport defender as Exodia sends it skyward, and again the blue car is throwing me off.
and like, it's doing what it was meant to do as Cam scrambles on the defense, able to get one save off the backboard, cleared out by Balti, and now Cam with an opportunity. We'll put this one off the backboard. Bubs tries to take control out towards the corner, gets the boost, leaves it for Exodia, and now a counterattack is underway.
Exodia gets this one back, decently centered, but Brock earning themselves a savior medal there. 3 total saves. Cam now back. That was dangerous because player could have come down on that ball, attempted the ground pinch under defender. Wow, dude, lined up again. How do they keep doing it?
Well, be careful because that fast break is coming underway. Cam, follow-up shot, and they hit the crossbar. Tugboat, I don't know if you know, but CBS, which is crossbar syndrome, that is contagious.
Apparently so. Missouri was inflicted with it. Solid pass under Cam. Almost gets the second tap against the ground as well. Gonna have to dribble a little bit better than that one next time, buddy. 30 seconds to go here. Do I taste overtime? Do I feel it? Do I feel it in my bones here, Captain?
And I do feel a bit of a change in the weather here at Neo Tokyo. Definitely feels like could possibly be overtime season, but Brock now goes up, gets the flip reset, and then we saw the dive for the bump, But unfortunately, the bump didn't come through and the shot goes down and by the wayside. 4 seconds. Last attempt, maybe, as this one goes up way high off the backboard. Follow-up shot, not enough zip, not going to be any good. We are going to OT.
Now the second one, the second effort, as this one was going down, might have been at second overtime for this game. We have had 3 of these games with 1 score difference. Everything else was decided by a score difference of 2. This will be another 1 score difference, whichever way it goes.
And now you see, I would like to think that this is actually dangerous territory for Davenport, because there's only been 1 other overtime, and it was won by Mizzou.
And also, Davenport has come out in both of these overtimes so far with really, really heavy and successful offense, and then it just crumbles after about 15 or 20 seconds or so. Missouri's going to like really, really, really enjoy like a bunch of backboard shots once they get this ball away from Cam that they looked like they were going to be able to do. Never mind. Okay, solid shot, Cam there. Brock's got around this one. Davenport just playing a little bit too scared back to cheat up and take the space that they need.
Yeah, looking really dangerous now. Again, like I said, going into this one, I was already nervous for Davenport just because Mizzou was able to take the last OT. Now we're taking these mid-range shots from the midfield line. Nearly able to go, but again, that crossbar syndrome is just taking hold in Davenport.
Told you, it's contagious, folks. Cam trying to take this one away off the top of the backboard. Brock now going to make an effort. Bubs waiting in the wings. Cue the Jaws music. Tried to get the second effort. Not going to happen. Is that too tall? It is! Oh my god! Top bar again!
I feel like Mizzou and Davenport just switched stations. Like they just handed the controllers over. Because in the first 3 games, Mizzou could not stop hitting the sidebars, could not stop hitting the crossbars, and now Davenport is having literally the same issue. And it couldn't be happening in the worst scenario. We are in overtime in game 6.
Great hit there from Cam. Bolte. Cam to Bolte, Bolte to Brock. Bolte back off the wall right here. And nobody, again, Davenport is just not going to succeed if they keep coming forth here and just insisting on leaving 2 players back. You're just not going to get an open field pass or that your third pitch all the way from downtown extra postage type mailing just for a goal here, right? We're looking at 2.5 minutes in overtime so far because of the lack of effort there.
And both teams, again, that's just from playing very, very cautious. I mean, you got to look at the stakes here. We are in OT. It's golden goal. Nobody wants to be that person that gives up the goal. Nobody wants to be the first to make a mistake. So we're playing with a lot of respect. We're playing very cautious. And with, hindsight being 2020 for what it was, we are playing with a much slower of a pace than what we were in regulation.
Yes, we are. Well pinched right there as Brock takes this one back. Zodia tries to kind of maintain this going highward so the teammate can get it. It succeeded, but it only really succeeds in keeping this ball on their side of the pitch for a while here. A scrum for the ball in the corner right now as Exodia sends this one out to open pastures. Nicely done. Bolte goes for the demo right there, not going to find it.
I get nervous for Bolte, but if anybody's going to come through on the back line, it's going to be Bolte. So again, well done to get that one cleared out. But look at Mizzou. They're moving closer and closer in. They're setting up now for this next play. Going off the backboard. Great clear. Off towards the side. Cam now able to send this one back towards mid. Brock going to stay back a little ways. Going to give room to Frostbite here. Out from the corner. Bubs with the follow-up. Goes up high. And that should be an easy clear for Cam.
Yes, it should. Going back down the other way, Davenport and the squad looking for it. So Bolte is there, Cam on the backboard, and Brock is nowhere to be found. This will be another possession given on over to Missouri because Davenport's just playing a little bit too scared to try and go forth and get a pass play from 1 to 2 players. They're just trying to get it one and done. Never mind, they're going forth back up a little bit more. Okay, excuse me.
Oh, there you go. You got Cam now. And like you were saying, nobody's really pushing up from the side of Davenport. Unfortunately, Cam didn't have anybody to pass to. This Bolte now has an opportunity, gets the flip reset, and it is on, but it does not go in.
Gene, you can't talk about flips resets without having Exodia in the conversation right there. They know how this one goes. They know what extra efforts can be utilized back of a reset. And again, just one player there. I corrected myself because they cheated up like a little bit. They purchased the space that they were given right there, and then just immediately goes back to the original game plan.
Yeah, and this is another thing that I wanted to note before something amazing happens. But one thing that I couldn't help but notice is that now that we have entered OT, the demo and physical plays have come to a screeching halt. I think I've only seen maybe one, possibly two demos since we've gone into OT. Meanwhile, throughout the entire series and throughout regulation, it feels like it has just been an absolute demolition derby.
Like, there's been, like, minor, like, demo attempts, or not demo attempts, like bump attempts and stuff like that, but I have to agree with you. There was a demo right there, but, I mean, 1 and 2 maybe in 5 minutes. Full Rocket League game being played right now is Missouri. Those are there playing on match point. Cam from the side gets us down past one defender left in the form of Bubs. And Bubs takes it and sends it the other way.
Nice little Goomba stomp, too. I love the Goomba stomp. It's always so satisfying. Just like, nope. You're not getting the ball. You're not even going to get the touch on it. Meanwhile, Cam able to go out from the corner. Looks to get their own pass. Exodia, though, able to take control. Gets the flick over one defender. Back to Brock. Off of Bolty. Big demo. This could be the opportunity, but it is cleared away as a demo is responded by another from Mizzou.
I believe that was 2 of them, actually. Bolty and then Cam. You take... 2 can play at this game. Looks like these 2 teams are driving across minefields right now. Bolty, solid shot attempt. Bubs on the other side. 6 minutes of overtime. What's your longest ever, Captain?
Oh, probably 17 to 20 minutes, I think, has been my longest. I mean,
wow,
but you also got to think about, like, the stage. In the NECC, no, I don't think it's ever gone that long. But I have commentated on matches that have gone that long for, like, other leagues, you know, other tourneys, whatever the case may be. But I really think both teams heard what I said about the demos, because I feel like ever since I mentioned it, they just completely switched it on. They were like, oh, yeah, we can demo.
Is no more. Yeah, the ceasefire is no more. Look at that. Yeah. The demo award. Not something you see frequently, is it?
I didn't even know that was a thing. To be honest, if it was, I think I completely forgot about it. Finally, the tie has been broken after 6 minutes and 50 seconds in overtime. Tugboat, we are going to Game 7.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Full 7-game series. This, again, is why we got best of 7s, folks. Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. All 1 score differences in the past 4 games. I have no reason to believe this Game 7 will be anything different. 12, a full dozen. I was going to call it a baker's dozen, but that's 13. 12 total attempted shots for Cam. That is crazy.
That is very, very crazy. 19 shots you're looking in total for Davenport. Then you're looking at 17 coming from Mizzou. And then, my goodness, 13 saves from Mizzou. 12 from Davenport. I mean, it doesn't get much closer than that. I mean, there's a reason why at the end that it lasted 6 minutes and 50 seconds in the OT, because honestly, it was just a stalemate. These 2 teams, no matter what the result in the final game will be, there's no way anyone can confidently say that one team is better than the other. Like, no matter how this game finishes, clearly to me, they are just evenly matched.
Like, it's as if we just took, like, pretty much the exact same stats, Captain, and then just elongated it by another 6.5 minutes right there. Crazy stuff. I mean, we had 1,000 points from a player. This is also something you not see very frequently at all. No numbers. Yeah, there's no numbers you could take into this Game 7 to say, oh, this team has an advantage, or oh, this team has an advantage. Every single time Davenport has come forth and taken an actual advantage, Missouri has just stuffed it straight in their face and said, nope, we're taking this to another game. Well, the rubber meets the road right here. There are no games after this one. There are no other games. No advantage will be enjoyed from either team into our best of 7, except what you garner for yourselves in this game.
And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and call it. I'm going to say it early. If this one goes to OT, Mizzou takes it. 100%. Because, again...
Yeah, they've already done it twice, right? Like, yeah.
Exactly. And honestly, that is one of my other perfectly mid takes in Rocket League. I like to call it Captain's OT theory, that more often than not, when in a series, if a team wins the first overtime, they are more likely than not to win the rest.
It's just how they perform within that. That's 2 sidebars now for Missouri. The play
I love that we're keeping track.
Like, I mean, dude, at this point you have to, right? Like, the amount of, like either of those independently, difference of a, dude, I'm not even talking meters, I'm going to talk inches here. And we're looking at 2 scores. We're looking like a 2-score lead for Missouri, right? But it just that's an issue that continues to plague them. I'm not making fun by any means. Not poking fun here. It is almost kind of funny at this point how often it happens, though.
Oh yeah, and that's what we were talking about with shot placement. And I understand the need to make shots hard to save, but I'd rather have a shot that's on target and be saved than to have one miss and be off target. That's just my preference. That's just my take. At the end of the day, there's a reason that these players are on the field, and it's because they are a lot better than I.
Not at all. Not at all. Bolty sends this one down. A great read there from Bubs.
Yeah, I think the Jets are cooling now, so to speak. I mean, we literally just witnessed a 6.5-minute stalemate in the previous game. And I can only imagine the endurance and the stamina is waning for both of these squads as they try and finish out this Game 7.
Yeah, and especially just going through the slog that just was that almost 8-minute overtime situation. Even if there's no scores on boards here as well, I mean, you pretty much just see a correlation. Once these teams get aggressive and the demos start raining down, again, like they're just driving over a minefield or something like that, then the scores come in. As it is, we have not gotten super, aggressive physically. Okay. All right, guys. All right.
I'm telling you, they can hear us. I'm convinced that
We're on a delay. I don't know how this keeps happening.
Every time we're like, where's the demos at? And then all of a sudden they get switched on. I'm telling you, there's like an earpiece. They're feeding the information that we are saying. And then they're like, oh yeah, now let's start doing the demos.
All right, you guys ready? Everybody in position? All right, go, go, go. And the thing is, it's not just one, either. And it's also not two from the same team. It's always like a trade. It's always like one takes it and is like, oh, you son of a gun. And getting back the revenge for the teammate.
Well, here we are at the midfield. Cam able to get the 50 off of Exodia. Bubs now has some boost to work with. Gets 50 by Balti as Frostbite tries to scramble there. Able to get the dunk on one defender. And now Cam going up high. Gets beat by Exodia on the back wall.
Nice shot attempt, or pass attempt, excuse me, there from Brock. Cam forced to come off the wall. Cam an offensive juggernaut in every way, shape, and form of the phrase. Games like 3 through 6. No scores on boards, not from Cam, not from Exodia.
And I gotta tell you, both teams absolutely ate this clock alive. Again, we already know how evenly matched these two teams are, but it does not feel like we have been in this match for 4 minutes. But sure enough, it has been now 3 minutes and 55 seconds, and the first goal has finally been scored, and it was a beautiful three-way pass play from Davenport.
All of this between the pass, the shot, and the ball just simply getting there, and the players that influence it as it came, just absolutely beautiful. Maybe the best shot setup. Probably, definitely. I was going to say in the past 10 minutes. Well, definitely, given there's only one score in overtime, right? And then 3 minutes and some change from this one. Another wide open one. Oh my, Missouri. They switch into the offense, and nobody really is even back for this, and Exodia does nothing more off that back hit than an attempted pass to Frostbite to try and get this one going, but there's nobody back for Missouri, and now a 2-score deficit. We haven't seen one of these come back from in a while.
Yeah, I mean, we've already just seen the struggle of the 1-goal deficit. As a matter of fact, the last time in this series that a team was able to come back from that 1-goal deficit, it was in game 5 that went into OT, and it was from Mizzou. And that was just a 1-goal deficit. It has been a while since we have seen that too.
Yeah, it really has. I mean, high-scoring game number 4, that was 4-3 right there, not overtime game in game 3 being the same scoreline, 4-3 overall, 7 total, but this one unfortunately just kind of drains away after an incredibly exciting one. Davenport just stays in the offense for another 10 seconds. And this one's about over. Cam. Okay, methodical block. Another hit. Yeah, no, this one is over. Okay. Couple attempts right there, and as long as you get a kickoff, there's kind of hope still, but not gonna happen. For the second time in the series. Okay, never mind. I was gonna say the Mizzou gets shut out, but they started 2-0. Now they will end 2-1. A good job from Davenport Black, bringing this one back from the brink. A 2-2 overall series scoreline will be their reward as Missouri drops to an unfortunate 0-4. A fantastic match, gotta say, Captain.
Oh, absolutely. 100% satisfied. You know, would order that again. 100% satisfied. But I mean, I got to tell you, I said it before the matchup and I'll say it again. You cannot split a hair between these two teams. I am still 100% convinced that they are evenly matched, even with the outcome of the last game. It literally went all the way down into the last minute. Like, that's how evenly matched these teams were. Even though you're looking at that 2-1 scoreline, the first goal wasn't scored until 1:05 remaining. So again, it was literally a neck and neck fight throughout.
Yeah, and in a best of 7 series that had 2 overtimes, total overtime duration of like 9 minutes or something crazy like that. So insane stuff. A fantastic job here from Davenport Black. Yet, like, you know, their overall season scoreline is 2-2. Mizzou's is 0-4. The team that we just saw play under Missouri's name for 7 games, kind of like more like 8 given the overtime situation and whatnot, that is not a 0-4 team. Good news for them. They still just keep on playing with that, man. Playing like that. This is a Missouri team. These dreams are not dead.
Absolutely. But that is going to end things there for our first game of the night. But don't you worry, we're going to have some more Rocket League for you right here at the NECC right after this break.
You work hard and play hard. You need real fuel to power your day. Not some tofu stuffed rice cake or plant-based meat substitute. No, you need honest-to-goodness, homegrown, protein-packed power in a stick. You need Wenzel's Farm. Quality cuts of meat handcrafted in small batches and naturally hardwood smoked for a great-tasting snack that delivers real energy. Power up and put the smack down on whatever your day brings with Wenzel's Farm. Real meat for real life.
What do you make of this up here? Just showed up in the yard a couple days ago.
Dog been digging in here?
I don't think so, dude. That goes way down in there. Seriously, did you just lose your meat stick?
Yeah.
Oh, no. There's something in there, dude. Just leave it.
Are you kidding me?
We'll just head to the house. Just leave it.
The hell with that.
Oh! Ah, yeah, there's something in there. Ah!
Want one?
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. It was worth it.
It's colder when I'm older than I am. And I know that I have lost composure, but I'll hold you closer while I can. I never told you that I'm slightly broken, that I might lose focus when I am. I know that life gets colder when you're frozen over like I am.
let you explore. Imperfect visions like I've been here before. Falling faster, I try to ignore. I see you, I see you. I'll let you drag me to hell if you hold my hand.
Well, hello and welcome back once again to more Rocket League here on the NECC. I am Captain Atsuka, joined by none other than Tugboat. Tugboat, we already got to see our first game of the night, and it was a doozy. First game of the night goes all the way to 7 games.
It did. It did indeed, sir. What we were looking at, about 8 minutes of total overtime between 2 different games, one of them like 6.5 minutes. Something crazy like that. That was Davenport Black that was able to bring that one out and remain nice even, 2-2, nice 500 batting for the season. We're looking at Carleton Ravens taking on the UCF Knights. UCF Knights have only played 1 single game so far. They are 0-1 thus far, Captain Netsuko.
Now, you see, I don't know about all the UCF Knights teams, but I do know that the UCF Knights program in the NECC had a little bit of a hiccup, so that first loss could have been a forfeit. I know they've had some issues with their other teams in the NECC for Valorant and things of that nature. So again, that it could have been the case that is what their first game was. It was a forfeit. It could have been. I don't know. Wasn't there. Didn't cast that game. But regardless, having only 1 game on their record so far for the UCF Knights, they're kind of coming into this one with a little bit of mystery. Like we don't know what to expect from them. They could be, not the greatest, but they could also absolutely pop off. I mean, they only had 1 game. Meanwhile, on the side of the Carleton Ravens, they're coming at this 1-2. Davenport came into their previous matchup 1-2, and then they just put on an absolute show. So again, we have a little bit more information to go on with the Ravens, and like I said, the UCF Knights, they're coming into this a little bit mysterious.
Yeah, I like it. I also, speaking of mysterious, look at the Carleton Ravens logo, right? Just like the 1 half kind of being shown. I love it. Mysteriousness being the theme of this matchup thus far. Have to agree with you though. The Knights, we simply have less information to go off. We have a lower sample size to go off of here with the UCF Knights. What we do know is if they take a W down here, again, they'll be even 500. And the same thing goes for the Carleton Ravens. 1-2 as of right now. We're looking at Educated Elephant, Murky, and Script making up the Carleton Ravens. And taking a look at these trio of Knights, that is the Lucas, Sketch, and Super making up the UCF Knights Academy squad.
Yeah, I'm expecting a decent match here. I mean, again, it's mostly just because our game 1, between Davenport and Mizzou, they set the bar pretty high. So let's see if our next 2 teams are going to be able to live up to the hype of game number 1 as we get the second game of the night underway.
Absolutely. Let's get it going. Lou right here. Backside, Lou for the UCF Knights. I'm going to assume that is Lucas. Yes, that would make sense. Murky sends it to the corner and pays for that effort with their temporary lives.
I mean, my goodness, we're starting off, pretty heated pretty early. I mean, it's literally been all gas, no brakes so far. A lot of fast break plays, a lot of long balls, and my goodness, a lot of demos, Tugboat.
Yes, it has been so far. My goodness, there's another one. Murky taking down Lucas's Educated Elephant, tries to accept the pass from a teammate. Murky gives up possession right here as Educated Elephant comes in flying at this one. Not a whole lot of boost to be spoken of, but that's not going to matter given that UCF didn't have a true scoring capability there. Trying to jump on top of this is Scripty.
Yeah, I also couldn't help but notice that, on the side of the Carleton Ravens that, we're seeing 2 non-meta vehicles and 1 Octane. Again, I can't list off the top of my head what those vehicles were, but I know that I don't see them too often. And 50-50 now back out towards that midfield line. You can see Catch gonna leave it for their teammate out towards the corner. A little bit of miscommunication there. They give up possession, and now Educated Elephant with the musty flick tries to get it to go, but Lou able to come up with the save.
Fantastic opportunity right there. Here from Murky, now down bottom. A low takeaway there from Sketch, and this is just not really been a whole lot of offense thus far. Carlton, okay, that's the caster's curse if you've ever seen it, folks.
Yes, I have seen it many a times. I was molded by it. That's why they call me Captain Caster's Curse. But Carlton Ravens able to get on the board first, and with a minute and 59 off the clock, I gotta say, so far not so bad for Carlton.
No, it really isn't. No, it really isn't. It's holding Super to no shot attempts. That's really dangerous. Okay, so double-digit score about halfway through this game here for Super. Got to get involved in the offense and defense. Maybe some passing plays here for Super. Loaded up here for the UCF Knights Academy squad. Demo yields slightly less in defense. Carlton, no, they're not really going to feel the pressures from that one as Murky is just giving over possession easily.
Right now, it looks as though that the UCF Knights have yet to really find their footing. Like, we're seeing a lot of great, individual possessions, but I've yet to really see the UCF Knights display themselves as a team. It is so far just them, going one at a time at these challenges, at these different possessions. No really coordinated effort yet from UCF.
Yeah, and we talk about passes plenty. But I gotta say that there's, even the individual scoring opportunities, last time we checked in with Super, there was none. I believe they only have 2 so far overall, and these are off the back of just really long, elongated offensive plays from Carlton. 3 shots from Murky, more from other players, Scripty only with 1, looking at a single save on the scoreline as of right now, but yeah, it's just kind of been the Murky show thus far.
Yeah, big demo to open things up at the midfield. Pinch going to go out towards the side. Lou is going to put this one off the backboard. Doesn't have any boost for the follow-up. Is Super. He's going to send this one up high. Gets pinched right back down as you see Murky is going to send this one back to Educated Elephant. And that one's just going to get deflected away. Again, a whole lot of shots being taken and little completion rate.
It's really not a whole lot. Shot attempt there from Murky. Another one on here, bringing that total to 4, I believe, as Catch sends this one out. But so the ball gets sent out. Lou is the only one really there. But again, Lou and Catch are on the same side of the field. So even though this ball kind of flirts with the front part right here, just nothing doing. Even if I don't know, they just have to be on better position, really on the same wavelength with each other, to be able to get these balls going.
Yeah, only 35 seconds remaining. UCF still looking to try and get their first on the board. Opportunity now for Catch. As that one does get 50'd out. Super now from up on high. Had a little bit of boost to work with, but got beat out in the end. And now Lou has to scramble on the defense. As Scrifty is going to 50 that one right back out. Murky now looking in towards that midfield line. Lou is not going to be able to take control. They do get past one defender. And right now, it just seems as though that Carlton is just concentrating on eating away at this clock. Only 5 seconds remaining. Lou going for the last-ditch effort as that one gets deflected by Murky, who maybe had saved the game for Carlton.
Wow, yeah, the lowest scoring possible here for a Rocket League match. 1-0. Carlton gets this one done off the back of, what is that, 8 shot attempts versus 6. See, there's not a major difference. Halfway through this game, sure, there's a major difference here. 4 saves Carlton, 5 saves UCF. Obviously, no scores right here. Catch actually coming up, only 44 points. Only touched the ball, 22 times, got a 25 points for the shot. Yeah, really didn't even touch the ball a whole lot. I'm not doing that math. Not a great effort there for the offenses from the UCF Knights, I gotta say.
Yeah, and like I had mentioned, during regulation, it just kind of felt like they were just taking turns challenging. And by that, I mean challenging the opposition, not so much making challenges for the net or going, towards the goal or, really trying to make plays with one another. I just didn't see the team effort. I saw a lot of individual plays being made. I saw, the rotations were good because, again, it was very polite. It's like, oh, you go first, and then I'll go, and then you could go, just very linear. just a very linear rotation, you know, it just kind of felt like it was a instead of a 3v3, it just kind of felt like a 3v1, 3v1, 3v1.
I hear a lot of door holding going on in this first game here. A lot of respect given between these two teams. We'll see if that respect continues on now, as the UCF Knights have got to feel a little bit of pressure after dropping game 1. Again, folks, best of 7 series, so they're going to have a little bit of wiggle room on these ones. As it is, though, UCF going to have to take this game back here, you know, for some kind of situation like the Carleton Ravens just put them into, to bring this one back, tie it up, and basically make it a best of 5 at that point.
And now you can see Scripty able to get the touch off the backboard. Good clear, though, coming from UCF as they put the pressure now onto the Ravens as Educated Elephant goes up high. Not able to follow it up, does not have the boost, does not have the juice. Lou does get the touch, and again, we're just seeing a real battle at this midfield line so far.
This is where this game has lived up to this point. Unsurprised it still is now, but give it another 2 minutes. If it's still there, I'd have to, you know, shake my non-aggressive offensive stick at these two teams.
Well, here we go. A similar footing what we saw for Carleton in the previous matchup. This time the UCF Knights are able to get that early lead, and you know that has to feel good, especially considering in game number 1, Carleton Ravens only scored once, and they were able to take that and turn it into a win. UCF Knights, they did the hard part. They got on the board first.
Guys, I think we're having a little bit of technical difficulties. Just maintain with us for a couple of seconds.
Honestly, I didn't even know if we were still live or not, but apparently Rocket League is not doing well. At least on our side, on our feed, Rocket League was feeling a little bit under the weather. We are hearing now confirmation that the game has in fact crashed, so we are going to try and boot up and get back in as quickly as possible.
Absolutely, absolutely. Short break. I doubt we'll be able to get in back to this game. It was UCF Knights up 1-0 when we left, when there was like 3 minutes left or something like that. Real sorry about that, guys. It's just going to happen sometimes within esports, right? Short break. Back with you in just a minute. Of course, we will have the result of this game 2 between Carleton Ravens, UCF Knights. Excuse me, I'm getting the report. FBI tugboat slander. Is committing slander out here. I'm saying we can't get back into the lobby. My producer's taking it as a personal challenge. He's getting us back in as of right now. Let's just try and fill here a little bit. UCF Knights, are you seeing, Captain NECC, what you need to see to say that they're going to be able to take down this game too?
I mean, it's kind of difficult to say because, again, only a minute has gone. I mean, they were able to get on the board first, so I think that is huge. Anytime that you're coming off of a shutout game, which even if it's 1-0, that is still a shutout. If you are held to 0 goals, no matter which way you cut it, it is a shutout. So being able to kind of like break that ice in very early, only a minute gone, they were able to break the ice and get the goal on the board. I think that is huge for UCF. So even though it has only been a minute, and again, that's not a lot to go on, I would like to say that yes, they do have what it takes to make it back, because they were already able to break that ice. And now coming back, we see that they were able to convert yet another goal. To even, further the point that, yes, as a matter of fact, I do think UCF has what it takes to answer back against the Ravens.
All right, man's got the stats back it up. 2-0 lead as of right now. The highest scoring game we've seen thus far, right? We only have one game to go off of, but yes. And the biggest lead we've seen so far. Ha ha ha. Okay. Educated Elephant coming off the corner right here. Trying to get something done. This is the kind of weirder crawl you were talking about, right?
Yeah, just a tidbit, yes. As you can see, going back towards the mid, UCF now on the defensive side of the ball, slowing things down a little bit. Murky able to get the hit out to Elephant. Big bump, leaving the net open, and the shot goes wide.
Hate to see it. Hate to see it. Opportunities abound right here for the Carleton Ravens as they were trying to get something done right here. Now, yeah, there we go. We're back to the corner now. Educated Elephant comes up forward, beats the defender, now trying to get to the corner. That's centered up, and Murky gonna turn this donut into a breadstick.
Yeah, and that's why you don't stop. Like really, like we've seen games be decided within 1:05, within literally 5 seconds on the clock. We saw it in the very first game of the night with Davenport and Mizzou. Mizzou made an astounding comeback, and they were able to send one of their games into OT with literally 5 seconds on the clock. This is why you can never give up on a game. You can never give up on a play, because now the Ravens are 100% back in this game with just under a minute to go. And they nearly found the equalizer.
They're so close to it right now, and 50 seconds to go. You can tell the Carleton Ravens are not giving this one up. For that clock strike 0, a back hit. Oh my goodness, just too many cooks in the kitchen. Scripty trying to get to it. Eclipse is like halfway right there for the equalizer.
I'm sorry for that horrific. That was pure reaction. I did not mean to do that. I did not even know I could make such a noise. That was, it was in the net, and speaking of, that is in the net for UCF.
Crazy stuff, crazy stuff. All of this goes down, and you gotta feel like, especially after an offense like that, and then a redirect off the undercarriage like that from the UCF Nice, you gotta feel like this game 2, is over.
I still don't know how they got that save. It was in, maybe by like a pixel. Were they able to keep it out? That was insane. And then what do? They turn it around, and they turn it into offense. And then they score immediately afterward. Absolutely insane. So yes, UCF definitely got the wake-up call here in Game 2. They showed up in a major way, made a huge statement, because, again, friendly reminder, game number 1, it was only 1 goal. Just a 1-goal game. We head into Game 2, and then not only does UCF break the drought, cancel out the shutout, but then they score 3 times.
It's as good as it gets. Good as it gets. No Jack Nicholson on that one, Captain Etsoka. 4 total shots here for UCF. All of them except for 1 made in. And again, we see a 0 in the scoreline when it comes to saves for Carleton. That's, I mean, every single time so far, I believe, we have witnessed a team that comes forth and gets actually 0 saves, goes forth and just consistently loses games. You got to incorporate a defense into an offense if you want to go forth and take down games against these Division I high-level Rocket League teams, my man.
Yeah, and then also what we're clearly seeing right now is UCF really just, like we had seen from Davenport in previous games, same with Mizzou as well, respectfully, is we saw them all get in on the ball. Points were being shared, the ball was being shared, everybody was getting in on the action. However, this is the second game in a row where we saw someone from the Ravens with less than 100 points. And to me, that's a little concerning, because either that player isn't getting involved or the other 2 players are not involving that player. It's one or the other. There is a lack of communication there somewhere. And I think it's really on the part of the Ravens to figure out why and then make the correction, because if they don't, it could very well cost them this series.
Yeah, and especially a game where you actually have scores. Obviously, UCF got blanked in the first one, 0-1 right there, but you gotta come forth and involve your teammates, like you said, right? Otherwise, you're literally just playing like a 3v2, and those kinds of numbers are insurmountable in the great game of Rocket League. Shot over Lou right there, but it's gonna be Scripty on the backside. Carleton strikes first after UCF. Yeah, that was 3-1 UCF in Game 2, right? Did I write this down wrong?
Correct. 3-1 was the scoreline. And I will say, and again, I'm not making any wild predictions. I am just going to state the facts that in the previous 2 games, the first team to score ended up being the team that won.
I feel like it's a very frequent stat right there. Like whoever draws first blood is going to be able to go forth and maintain that with only a couple of lead changes in between, possibly. But, I mean, Game 1 blanking UCF, Game 2 UCF winning by a score difference of 2. This is off the back of the Ravens player that only put up, like you said, double-digit scores across a full 5-minute Rocket League game. Is not sustainable. Looks like they're going to be able to kind of flip that situation around now.
Well, here we are, just about a minute in. Carleton Ravens 1-0, and they scored in 15 seconds. It was very quick. As a matter of fact, it kind of seems reminiscent of the previous game with UCF as well. Very 2 rapid beginnings, and then what felt like a stalemate for a little bit throughout the length of regulations. That one goes off the backboard, and again, feeling that like that one could have been converted.
You gotta feel like it when there's so many opportunities on both sides, really. I'm not singling out either team here. that come up and that just results in nothing, just never comes to fruition, right? Kind of like this one, kind of like this offense right here. It hasn't come to fruition yet, and because Lou and teammate, I believe that was Catch, were so far back, there's not really much of an opportunity to do it. It's just not frequent that you're going to find this team and catch them flat-footed.
Well, Catch definitely not going to be flat-footed as they took to the sky to get the touch on that one. And now, here comes Super, but Scripty there to send this one out towards the side. Lou now will take a turn. They get 50'd out towards the mid, and Catch has to drop all the way back to try and clear this one out. This one goes up high. The shot is on. Educated Elephant will put it on and in.
A 2-score lead now is Catch kind of, this is not ideal positioning. And here's the other thing. Educated Elephant needed no boost for that like whatsoever. They just literally just came off the ceiling after burning boost to get there. And then just a single shot right to the gut of the UCF Knights Academy squad. A 2-0 game. 3 minutes or so for UCF to come back, undo the score lead.
You know what? I'm just going to throw it out there. We saw Educated Elephant, right, in the earlier games in what is, I can consider, a non-meta vehicle, right?
Yes,
And then now,
I think that's a fair statement.
Yeah, and now they went back to the Octane. And there's an old saying in Rocket League that all roads lead back to Octane.
Yes.
So I just think it's interesting that now we see Educated Elephant make that switch. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure all of it might have been Murky who had the other identical vehicle, ended up switching back to the Octane as well, and now they have a 2-goal lead. 3 goals.
There you go. I was about to say, what was that, Capitan? Nicely done. 2, I believe that's 2 here for Educated Elephant. Oh no, is that going to be 3 for Educated Elephant? Is that a hat trick? Or is that just their second?
I don't recall seeing it in the feed. It could be. I might have missed it.
Regardless, man. Assists abound. Yeah, no, so assists for Educated Elephant, 2 goals for them. So about as good as it gets. It looks like the Carleton Ravens have really found the way to fly with their flock, come forth and turn that cohesiveness into points on the board.
Yeah, I'm a firm believer in Octane supremacy. And like I said, I'm also a firm believer that all roads do lead to Octane, but there's always that secondary meta vehicle, or rather, there's always 2 meta vehicles, right? But the one vehicle that has remained constant has been
Nice
the
bump.
Octane.
Rocket League pros for, 8 years, 7 years, something like that, have been going with this car for a reason. Too many really to name. There's been some fun Dominus play, like that super flat car. The crazy flicks possible with that car are always fun, right?
Honestly, I think my favorite era of non-Octane meta had to be the Cookser Batmobile era. That was a fun time in Rocket League.
Oh, almost. Lou, a fantastic job. 60 seconds to go. Super flying back to this one. S on the chest and flying all the same. Murky is trying to get even closer to their goal and just physically not being allowed to. Great job from Murky on the backside to have read this one as well. Oh, I thought that was hitting backboard. Scripty just got the 4th goal for their squad. I'm going to say this is all but an insurmountable lead.
Yeah, I agree and disagree. And you are 100% right. It is looking insurmountable. But in these scenarios, from what we have witnessed and what evidence we have that we are given in Rocket League history, in competitive Rocket League, is that ideally, realistically, you want to allot yourself 10 seconds per goal. So yeah, with 46 seconds, it's still possible. It's just not probable. And now we have gone past that 10-second threshold.
Okay,
However,
well, that just got a little bit easier.
Yeah, however, now there's a goal on the board for UCF.
So we're down to about 8 seconds per. This is going to. Well, let's entertain it, right? Let's entertain it because I called it dead, but now a 3-score difference. This is basically going to require 2 perfect kickoffs, or like a perfect kickoff and then like a 15-second goal or something like that. And that is not exactly the way it's going. Carleton puts it back on over to the side. Scripty should be able to pick this up. Okay, doesn't. Now there's definitely not enough time.
Yeah, that's going to be the long ball there, and that will be the dagger as Scripty picks up the hat trick.
Nicely done. So Educated Elephant, we were confused about them getting a hat trick earlier, but hey, should have never forgotten. Scripty right here. gets that one in 5-1, and this is looking like a back-and-forth series. Round and round we go. Where we stop, I do not know. A relatively, well, the lowest scoring possible, right? A non-OT 1-0 win for Carleton in game number 1. UCF, more of a standard Rocket League scoreline. 3-1 there for their W, only a 2-score victory. And now a 6-1 in game number 3.
Also, throwing it out there, Educated Elephant just got the Playmaker medal. And for those that don't know, I mean, I say it often, but the Playmaker medal is my absolute favorite accolade in Rocket League. And to me, it's even better than the hat trick.
Is that 3 and 3?
Absolutely. I'm sorry?
Is it 3 and 3, right? The 3. Oh no.
No,
Okay,
Playmaker medal is just
please,
three assists, and they got 2 goals. But again, you're looking at 95% goal participation. By the way, when you're looking at 3 assists, 2 goals, that's 5 goals participated in out of 6. So that's like 95% goal participation. And then also another impressive stat, you're looking at 4 shots each coming from the Ravens. So it's like we've been saying it all night. When every single player is getting involved and it shows in the stat count, it results more often than not in victories.
Yes, and fly as a pack, man, fly as a flock. 6-1 is an undeniable scoreline as well. Now, the question has to be asked at this point, given that there's a little bit of back and forth and a 6-1 that doesn't happen by mistake, have the Ravens figured it out, and is this what we can, presume to see in the rest of these games, whether that's 2 games or 4?
I think they always figured it out. I think they always knew. Just play with the octane. That seems to be the solution to the formula. Okay, so what happened was that they were playing with these vehicles and they were fun. Also, big shout out to by the way, to Educated Elephant for rocking the cabbage core, the cabbage core decal. Again, that's a Last Airbender decal. I dig it. I like it. But they switched to the octane, and then it was just a night and day difference. Like, they lost game 2, and I think they took that personally.
Got to. I mean, you got to once you get down into a series, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, I would. But here we are now, going into game number 4. The Ravens now with the lead in the series, looking to maintain as we are well and underway. First 30 seconds off the clock, and already the Ravens are bringing a little bit of the heat on the offense.
A little fakey action on the offense. I love that. We'll see if these 2 teams do kind of follow their predecessors on broadcast at least and end up getting super aggressive with it, because I feel like that's how best of 7 series eventually go. If they don't start out super hard and heavy, eventually around the middle meat of this series, as long as it's not a 3-0 of course, is when this aggression physically starts to reign supreme, and that's a demo into a slow roller. The Knights strike first.
Well, here we go. And again, it just looked like a little bit of a mistouch coming from Scripty. Again, they saw Murky up front. Maybe they thought Murky was going to get a better touch. Like, you can even see, in the quick chat, they're like, oops. So, really a little bit of miscalculation. But regardless, it was that early pressure coming from the UCF Knights and constantly putting the ball on target, forcing that little bit of an oops to happen on the Ravens. So, again, going to point it out there. Once again, so far in the last 3 games, the first team that scores ended up winning. So let's see if history will once again repeat itself.
We'll see. 1 score difference is obviously easily surmountable after that, but at the end of the day, it's just so rare that it's that it's only 1 score for that squad who goes forth and wins. Super taken out. Scripty rotating around trying to find the back position. 3 minutes and 21 seconds as this ball rockets against the sidewall yet again. Scripty trying to set it up for a teammate, and does. Elephant never forgets. And this Educated Elephant is going to find their position perfectly, just like they have before in the middle of the pitch.
And you see, it's funny, I'm built like an elephant, and yet I forget often. I have horrible, horrible memory. But we got ourselves a tie ball game, and now things are looking a little bit better. But I think we need to come up with a name for that scenario where, you see these series, and as the series goes on, it seems as though that the first team to score ends up winning. So I think we're going to call that the first blood buff from now on. It just feels like you get some type of an invisible buff in your Rocket League game.
Those are the kinds of buffs that, like, the intangibles, right? That's what you're talking about.
Exactly.
Catch up to it. 10 seconds outside of halftime now here at Soka. Ketch trying to get in the offensive position, right? Just kind of hanging out in front of the goal right here, and the Carleton Ravens are completely content to have played this from the side. Murky, great rotation to have gotten a position for this one, as the UCF Knights, well, looked like they were going to try and get in the offense here. And now several demos are going to argue with them rather heartily.
Yeah, that they are. And I mean, look at the awkward spawn too. Like that's a nightmare when you have one teammate that's like really trying to rotate, and you know they're trying to get into position, and all of a sudden their teammate just kind of appears in front of them, and they accidentally bump each other. And that's the type of disruption that we're talking about that comes from these demos and from these bump plays. It really does have a ripple effect.
It's got like all the way across this. Whoa, that was almost an own goal there from Lou. I'm not sure anybody anticipated that pinch ball to be flying that fast as it is. Ball slowed down, pace is slowed down. Educated Elephant does not, though. Nicely done. The Ravens strike for the second time with 100 seconds left in this game number 4.
Yeah, honestly, that was just beautiful. Again, like they turn on a dime, they come in hot to make sure that they get to the ball first, and then they slow down, they pump their brakes, they get the touch up, and then just a simple flick. Again, it wasn't like a musty flick or tornado flick, you know, it was just practical Rocket League off the front of the car, being able to turn off speed into top speed, just with a simple flick of the wrist. Well done, coming from Educated Elephant.
Demos and more. Scripty tries to get a ball to a teammate. Suffers a demo along the way. Some fantastic dribbling, and Murky may have just got the most flashy solo goal on broadcast tonight. Definitely, dude. We gotta check that pitch for some broken axles.
100%. And again, it was flashy and it looked great. But at the same time, it wasn't overly complicated. That is just simple mechanics that you can learn by going in the free play and just like, you know, practice balancing the ball. Like it's fundamental Rocket League, but it was executed to perfection.
See how this is able to be perfected towards the end of the 60 seconds. UCF Knights has gotta get in the aggressive third here soon. Attempted demo. I mean, I'm not against that. Kind of taking out an offender as they're coming down, but that, like, you cannot just rely on demos to open up nets, though, right? I mean, it kind of seems like UCF is just going with the tried and true, and it's just not working.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to go out of rotation for a demo. That never leads to anything good. Anytime you break rotation, really, you're gonna have a bad time. If you break rotation, you're gonna have a bad time. And that's the thing with the demos is that, you know, you see them a lot, but it's always within rotation. It's when you're near me, you're in the way, or you're near the ball. You're never going too far out of your way for a demo, and when you do, bad things ensue. Meanwhile, we're looking at the last second, ticking away off the clock. That'll do it. The Ravens now go up 3-1 in the series.
Yep, so 3-1 in the series, 3-1 in this most recent game. This off the back of Educated Elephant, a lot from Scripty. Obviously, Murky came in as well. 2 assists, a goal as well to boot. 5 total saves versus UCF 6, but the difference here really comes down into the the difference in scoring attempts. Another 3 on top. 9 total shot attempts here from Carleton. Only 6 from UCF Academy. Things that UCF can do in this game. Number 5 to bring this one back, win a game, push the series on a little longer. I'll go first, Captain. I want you to think about the question. I'm not going to say, dude, you're never going to find me saying abandon the physical play, abandon like the aggressive physical play here. But it has to work. It has to like matter, right? Because there's a couple of different times that you see Ravens get demolished or get demoed or whatever else like that. But there's no like after play for that. And then at the end of the day, all you're really doing, especially if this is happening while you're on defense, is sending that player down to the other side of the field with 33 in the boost, right? And so if you're like trying to get in the offensive third, you're literally like guaranteeing them a goalie that has 33 boost. And that's enough for anybody at these high levels of Rocket League to get down mostly any defensive save.
Yeah, and you know, right now, again, to me, it's the same problem that we saw in games number 1, or even in game 3, is that I'm not seeing the team synergy there. I don't see any intent, not too many. I mean, I've seen a couple, but I haven't seen enough intentional passing coming from the Knights. More often than not, they're taking the ball to the sides and they're trying to throw it mid, and then hoping someone comes down with it. But the problem is that I've noticed it, and so have the Ravens. The Ravens are picking apart every pass or attempted pass that UCF is going for because there's little intention. Again, they're just throwing it into the middle and then hoping someone is there.
Like, it makes sense to send it into open field where nobody's at, and like your teammate has just a little bit of a closer line to it, right? Like, it's not a full-on pass, but you know that your opponents aren't going to be able to hop onto it. And that's just not where UCF has been going. Like, this goes up. What's the intention behind this shot? Murky's just going to immediately block this one away. Okay, you have it cornered up, and now you have one of 2 players who can make a play on it. Now, I can't really sing the praises of Carleton here because they did not get the pass out attempted offensively until Res now. Okay. I'm picking out little things, and obviously the players are working on as there are more obvious mistakes, right?
Oh yeah, one of the hardest things to do in any sport, be it esport or traditional, is to correct your mistake. It's even harder, nigh impossible, to do in the middle of a match. So these are just, again, when we critique, it's mostly just observation. It's not anything like that's permanent or set in stone that, they're always going to be this way or this is how they play. These are just observations. And again, it can help anyone become a better Rocket League player. It can help you. It can help me. It can help the players on the pitch. But the point is that these are not going to be things that are going to be corrected in the middle of a match. Like, we have seen that happen before and it is done, but that is really an attribute that is given to the highest performers in esports, is when you can make those corrections live and in the middle of a match.
It's one of those things, it's hard to realize that you're making a mistake, and like, if it's not something that just can be immediately corrected, whether that be comms or something like that. And then in such a high-flying game as Rocket League, go forth and do it. I think now is a perfect time for the classic and very clear disclaimer. I don't think I've ever actually intentionally flipped reset on a ball in my entire life, right? What these players have done, what that do right there, on a second-by-second basis is more than what I can do if I was trying against bots, okay? So there you go. Lou is the first one in here for the UCF Knights. This is a little bit of wiggle room, but the job's not done.
Now, see, disclaimer, I have intentionally flipped resets. My history actually originated as me being a Rocket League player for Absolute Leverage, and, actually participating more than once in the rival series. So again, I do have a little bit of a competitive background, but it was so long ago I had hair, okay? I am washed. But Educated Elephant is not washed. They are in their prime as they find themselves another goal.
Yeah, they really, really are. Like, these are collegiate players that are coming forth, and really in a lot of ways the heyday of Scholastic esports. The kind of support that they're getting and stuff like this is... I'm not going to get on my soapbox, the old man who went to college a decade ago or whatever, but darn it, I really wish I could have had opportunities like this. I could have gone forth and squandered so many shots for, my university's Rocket League team. I could have gotten benched so quickly, but I would have had the opportunity to do so, Captain.
Yeah, well, that's why we're doing this, though, is because,
Yes.
we couldn't do this when we were in school, right? So now we get to share our experience, our wisdom that comes with years of the advanced aging that you and I are experiencing. As we can see, the young folks on the field are still very much going to work. Educated Elephant gets a big demo and nearly found another.
Scripty tries to get this past the other on this, and fantastic read there from Catch onto Murky, picking up big boost and then kind of giving the who's who on the other side. Now that's a pinch for the ages. Somebody call a lobster. My goodness.
Now going off the backboard.
Shot.
Good pass.
Oh, it's a self block.
My goodness.
Okay.
Okay, Lou, they fixed it because you saw it, I saw it. Lou came through and blocked their teammate's shot. Was like, oh, geez, gotta go back and put it on target. And there you go. That's how you clean up after yourself in Rocket League. UCF Knights now take the lead 2-1.
Little whoa, hey now, none of that now, none of that, teammate. We're supposed to be getting this one in there together. Lou almost walks the dog all the way inside, and Carlton, middle shot. Oh, they're gonna be so lucky the Super was there.
And just good positioning coming from Super to play that 3-spot back. Oh, another shot on from Educated Elephant. What a play. And this is what I mean by intentional passing. Notice that they didn't just chop it out to mid. That was 100% intentional. They had both Murky and Elephant there and waiting. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure Elephant called Murky off and had even further communication to intend on taking that shot. That is what I am talking about when I describe intentional passing.
Yeah, exactly. Passes with a point. To hopefully go forth and get a point. I don't know. 30 seconds to go right here.
I got it.
UCF, thank you. I appreciate you. Yeah, tie ball game. That is not the case in the series, however. UCF loses this one. They will be it for the best of 7 series. That is a lurking, dangerous ball. Cue the Jaws music as that is quickly swept away.
Boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. Seconds now dwindling. Could possibly see OT. 5 more seconds to go. Looking a little dangerous here for the Ravens. The Knights moving ever so closer in. And that one will hit the dirt right in front of the Ravens net. Tugboat, we have overtime.
Overtime has been achieved for the 3rd time on broadcast. Let's hope it's not a full 8 minutes and it's figured out a little bit quicker than that one. Whether that be winner or loser, Super gotta stretch as best they can to get to that ball, and they do. Live ball. Game still going. 20 seconds or so as Super tries to get a redirect into the Carlton Ravens. Goal not gonna happen. Murky taking this one from the corner now. Plenty of boost to get this one worked with. That kickoff right there actually just turns into a backwards pass for Carlton Ravens. That's a decently centered ball. His catch takes a demo.
Yeah, it feels like the Ravens are really taking charge here in OT. Again, it has just been push, push, push. And then, of course, they have to the transition back. As you can see, Educated Elephant now has to go out of their own corner. Doesn't have boost. And that one was on target. Nearly kept out by Scripty. And now another shot goes on Educated Elephant. They have to scramble. Now this is looking dangerous for the Ravens.
Yes, it is. Scripty gets this over. There's not really anybody back. Okay. Murky gets way too aggressive and too far up. This one, it's, I guess you could call that a shot. Really slow one right there as Educated Elephants tries to wing one in from the side. Educated Elephant pass there from Scripty. Rounds this one around. Murky with a second touch attempt. Not going to happen. Oh, are you going to do it to him again? Do it to him again! Okay, all right.
Yo,
that was Elephant earlier with the fancy footwork, right?
Oh yeah. That time it was just mind games. And you know where you really learn those skills in the 1v1 play mode. When you go into 1v1s, that's where you get those skills. That's where you really get your practice with the ball handling. I mean, big part of 1v1s, but also the mind games, the temperament, the discipline to try and pull that off. That comes from the 1v1 playlist.
Important lessons that can be learned a little bit quicker, maybe in other game modes or whatnot. A lot of a choose guy myself. I lose those mind games. You have to be smart to win mind games, and I always lose them. What does that mean, Captain?
You're impatient. I mean, I'll be completely honest with you because I'm the same way. I hate 1v1s. You'll never see me in the 1v1 playlist ever. Big demo opens it up for Lou, and how do you do? We're going to a game 6.
Nicely done. Nicely done. Catch kind of like leads Murky into kind of like a chase attempt right here, thinking that this ball is going to come over to that side, and then one demo later, UCF comes out on top of game 5. We got a little bit of extended series here, my friend.
Yep, that we do. And I'm just potential game 7. It could happen. Very much could happen, but let's take a look at the stats real quick. We're looking at 10 shots coming from UCF, and we're looking at 11 coming from the side of Carlton. And honestly, the only difference is that one save. That's it. The one save is the big difference maker. And when you're looking at a scoreline that's literally just one goal, very well could have been the one save. That was literally the difference.
Well, I mean, again, these two teams, outside of that 6-1 game, that really just kind of seems like that was the outlier here. The 6-1 game in game number 3 for Carleton, that could have very easily ended at like 4-1 as well. There were two like late scores as the UCF Knights were just trying to throw it all against the wall and see what sticks. Shake the tree, see what falls out, right? Coming into this one, honestly, UCF just needs to recreate the same performance that they had across the 7-minute game or so. Just need to do it during regular time. Excuse me. No need to push this to overtime. No need to make it so so hard and heavy and stressful and everything else like this. They have the skills to pay the bills. Now it's just about each player to the ball as close as they can, and then playing that up and passing almost every time, unless you have an open net, basically passing.
Well, let's see if they're going to be able to make the corrections. As for the second time today, we head to Neo Tokyo. Reminder that the Ravens are still on match point here. If they take the dub, they will take the series. And of course, the Knights are looking to send this one into Game 7. Already 15 seconds underway. And no one really taking solid possession just yet, Tugboat.
No, not really. A little bit surprising because so far it seems like these games have come out and both teams have just poured all 100 boost into going for it, just taking possession, even if it is just for a couple of seconds. As it is, both teams looking really, really content to just play a little bit of defensive-minded and play this one a little bit slower. Pretty much taking every engagement with at least some sort of boost. No, like, hustle to it.
Oh, here we go. Super is going to take this one up on high. Going to leave it for the teammate as it gets cleared out to the side. Super again from down low. As this one goes back towards Lulu. Gets the touch. Has a teammate off the backboard and barely gets blocked. Great heads-up awareness coming from the defender on the back wall there.
See if that's able to continue here. Like you said, defensive prowess standing up here and early. Murky gets hit way off of this ball, so there will be no more escort capabilities for that player. Catch misses it. Lucas going to be very, very glad that they are back here. That looks like a shot that was going into me based on that angle, but no harm, no foul for UCF so far.
Yeah, not much doing. Just, again, a lot of back and forth here. Things are getting a little scrappy. As, again, both teams are vying for a possession catch. Going to be able to find the opening for UCF and get the first goal on the board.
Nicely done. So Scripty tries to hit this one out, and because they didn't hit this ball higher, they hit it lower. The player who just happened to be driving by, I don't believe this was an attempted, pass onto their teammates or nothing like that. Nope, they were just driving right there. They happened to send the ball way up, and the Knight's going to come down and take advantage of it.
And UCF wasting no time off that kickoff to apply the pressure on offense. Educated Elephant able to clear this one out. Pass back towards the mid, and Lou is good for 2.
Lou is good for 2. Me and you. Lou has found it. Nicely done. This is open net all day long. Honestly, that was a UCF player who was closer to getting a block than a Carleton's player was.
Oh, well. I mean, it was scary, but, it's over. Thank goodness. UCF now get a 2-goal cushion when they need it the most. Trying to send this one into the Game 7, but hold the phone. That one's going to go off the crossbar. Murky tries to put it back on in, but it is no good.
Catch. Solid little clear right here. Finds Scripty as well, but the Ravens, they know how to play with 2. I mean, they have to at this point. I feel like they've spent maybe honestly 10% of this game with only 2 players on the field, or even less. Sometimes we do see those double demos. Halftime now. Ravens down by 2. What are they going to do?
Well, that one's going to get pinched on the other side of the pitch. Coming back towards the mid, Educated Elephant looking for Murky. Murky now off the backboard. Elephant goes up, hits the bottom corner, leaves it. And that's not going to be any good. The defense from UCF manages to hold on as the Ravens inch closer and closer towards that goal.
Speaking of, that is 1 goal per minute. If the Carleton Ravens are going to tie this one back up, maybe send it some overtime. That's how we saw the last game end. Of course, it wasn't for them, although it was pretty hard fought all the way through. A really weird clear. not a full-on one, as Educated Elephants just trying to maintain this one off the wall. Lou comes in for the block right now, but there's only a couple of nice members back. Nice demo, gonna even this numbers up for the nice squad a little bit more.
Yeah, coming out of the run yet now, Super able to get the 50. Sends this one into Carlton territory. Super now off the backboard. Has a teammate, Elephant, though, able to interrupt. Super leaves it for catch. Off the backboard, this goes up high. No one really there to receive from the Knights, however.
Dude, Carlton has to be way more aggressive with this. You saw all three members just like kind of riding in tandem down. This is not synchronized Rocket League, folks. This is 3v3 flying car soccer. You got to get that ball on the other side of the net, and you only have about 50 seconds with which to do it.
Yeah, time definitely not on the side here, especially at this pace. Right now, UCF, they're holding onto that lead with an iron fist. Is Super does hit this one out towards the side, picks up a demo along the way, and that's how it's done right there. You get the demo while you're still in possession within rotation, and then now you get yourself a goal. How about that, Tugboat?
Yeah, nail in the coffin, man. Nail in the coffin. 10 seconds or so, they have 11, but we haven't seen that kind of fight out of the Carlton Ravens in this game or really in the last one. So I'm pretty confidently calling this one.
Yeah, also hats off to Rule 1 being honored inside of the Ravens net. Kudos to you. You get your flowers. You just can't break Rule 1. You can't do it.
Oh, never.
Murky, however, gets what I've definitely broken it, but that's how I know that you can't break it, because then you lose. Murky, though, able to get the first goal on the board here for the Ravens, but is it too little, too late?
We were talking about 10 seconds. I called it at the 3-0 with 33 seconds left. Ravens gonna have to get another 10-second goal and then do it again. The fortunate part, if they get it done at that point, is that they will be able to have a kind of volleyball type situation at that point. But you gotta get it done with at least 1 second. That's a backboard pass. Gotta get it in on this shot. Not gonna happen.
But you know what is gonna happen, Tugboat, is that we get 2 back-to-back Game 7s. Did not think we would be so lucky. Did not think this is where we were going to end up here. My goodness, we are getting a treat tonight here at the NECC. 2 back-to-back Game 7s. We are going to Champions Field.
So 230 points to 310. This is a really well-rounded Carlton squad. UCF, though, has Lou just come out and absolutely carrying it. 5 shots for the team's 7. Looking at Carlton's 7 shots. Once again, coming in with more saves as the winning team. These are the numbers that just make sense. If we're looking at team's momentum, you got to talk about the UCF Knights. Carlton, they got the 6-1, they got the 3-1 after that. It's kind of like, well, you kind of set the bar for yourself a little bit, and then you lose in overtime. Then it's kind of like, okay, fire alarms are going, the smoke detector's going off, right? Then you lose it in 3-1. That's a 2-score difference right here, and there was like 22 seconds left or something that they even got a goal that ended up not mattering. This is 22 seconds away from a 3-0 here, Captain Etsoka.
Yeah, honestly, I think you hit the nail on the head with your commentary in regulation, because you were saying, what we were seeing is, they're just kind of playing a little bit too far back. They're not attacking, they're not going after the ball. Meanwhile, you're looking at the Knights, and they're bringing all this aggression. The Ravens just kind of getting a little bit too relaxed, and because they had the luxury of a two game lead in the series, well, now that is completely gone. Now we're here in Game 7. Now you have to bring back some of that aggression we saw earlier.
Like, you knew that you had to win a game at some point the whole time since you took the 3-0, but now you wasted the cushion that you gave yourself. This is it's the same 2-game comeback that would be necessary if you went up early, right? Now you have a single one and done standing between you. Unfortunately, as that lead was wasted away. 30 seconds or so. And Carlton spending a little bit of time in the offense. Now Murky just coming flying in from the left side right here. Nobody knew it was coming. That was a solid little shot attempt, and that one was just a little bit too high. That one is just on point. It's the story of the porridge here. A little too short, a little too high, and that one is just right.
Yep, try, and try again. And the Ravens, in the end, found success as they will get on the board first. And we have already discussed how important that first blood buff is.
That's actually a really good point. Yeah, UCF in the overtime game and in the last game as well. I mean, since you monitored it, obviously the Carleton Ravens in the 1-0 game in the beginning, and I'm pretty sure they scored first in the 6-1 slaughter in game number 3. Well, that just gave them a little bit more in the way of an advantage here, Capitan.
That one just felt like a little bit of a pool shot. You know, they're calling, you know, okay, Knight's goal corner pocket, and then just kind of rolls it in from the side of the pitch. You know, again, nothing too fancy. They just caught the defense napping.
Got the defense napping, lacking, and slacking. And there's another one. Wow. Okay, man. Any conversation that we had about the UCF Knights Academy momentum is gone the way of the dodo. On the way of AskCheese.com.
I feel like the Ravens were hustling us, to be fair. Like, honestly, I think they were like chilling. Yeah, they were just chilling. And then once they got, and again, we talked about it in the first game when they decided to use their ult. And I think the Ravens are ulting here in game 7.
They just saved it up. Cooldowns, ults, whatever at their disposal. They are basically paying this like a shootout. 3-0. I mean, and this was 30 seconds ago as well. This is the first like minute or so, maybe a little bit more than that actually. They got 3 goals. The fact that the Carleton Ravens have like failed to do that across, like they have scored once in 3 games, right? Or like one time across 3 games, and they do that in 1 minute in the game number 7. Perhaps pressure creates diamonds, and the Carleton Ravens might look like they'd be shining bright right now.
No, I'm not buying it. I feel too played. I feel played by the Ravens. No, I don't feel foolish for no reason. This was calculated. I really think that they just kind of, you know, listed through the series, and then, you know, like you had mentioned, when their backs up against the wall, they're like, okay, we're going to go full tilt now.
It's a dangerous way to play if that is the case. A team with a 1-2 record, I wouldn't really call as one. Okay, well, that was mailed from downtown. They're going to have to call a different area code next time they want to get this ball all the way down there. Look at this. This is like, what, 4/5 pitch? Something like that?
And then not to mention the Knights also had a cherry pick there if necessary.
Yeah.
Like they had, not only were they able to get the ball across, but they also had a player on that side of the field. So even if it wasn't on target, there's a pretty good chance that it was still going to go in. So, I mean, again, that was just a great turnaround for UCF.
Cornered playing out. What the Ravens cannot do is rest on their laurels now. A 3-0 lead, like, okay, you know, I'm not saying don't play offense. I'm saying your main opponent is now that hourglass. As it is a 2-score lead, as we all know, is the most dangerous lead in all of Rocket League when it comes to mentality around it.
Well, here we go. Another save comes through for Lou. And they now take possession. Have a little boost to work with here as they go up, get the bump. Possible open opportunity, but luckily for the Ravens, Murphy was there to save the day.
Dude, it's got to go 100%. That thing had 2 9s on it. My goodness, that was as close as you get. Now tipped out, and then a miss from a Raven. That was like right there. That was a shot I could have made. I'm comfortable saying that one, Edsoka.
You know it's bad when the commentators, you know, I could have made that. My grandma could have made that one, you know. But regardless, you can afford to miss shots like that. I mean, you really never can afford to miss shots like that. But you know, at least when you do, you have the 2-goal lead.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I mean, it could be a worse situation for that scenario. But again, a minute remaining. The Ravens are still leading by 2. They still have time to make up for that goal that they woulda, shoulda, coulda had.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, if this had happened around the 3-minute mark where UCF scored there first, then you're looking at like, wow, okay, I mean, they have more time than is already eclipsed to come back at this one. Given that happened around 60 seconds or so, again, fighting against that hourglass right now. Mostly, not so much the UCF Knights Academy squad.
30 seconds left to go. It is looking dire. And again, remember the 10-second rule. We're about to pass it right on up, and that's your area of possibility, according to Rocket League time theory. And we are past that threshold. It is not looking good for UCF.
10 seconds ticking away. If you hear a knocking, that may be the nails in the coffin. UCF Knights here in week number 4. They'd have to score like right now and then set it back up, and that ain't happening. We have your victors. You can't score twice at triple zeros. Carleton University, the Ravens, flocking together for this. It sounds weird to say, but this comeback win. Like,
I'm pretty sure they hustled me. I'm not falling for it. You know, I mean, no, I fell for the hustle, but I'm not falling for the bit like, oh, you know what? We just had a great comeback. No, they were in the driver's seat. I'm convinced. I will call it a conspiracy to make us look foolish. That's what it was. But no, no matter which way you cut it, still fantastic gameplay. We were delighted and fortunate enough to get 2 back-to-back Game 7s here tonight for the NECC. But with that being said, that is going to wrap things up for our second game. We're going to try and hurry and get to our third game of the night so that way we can make sure to get all these games in. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more Rocket League right here on the NECC.
You work hard and play hard. You need real fuel to power your day. Not some tofu stuffed rice cake or plant-based meat substitute. No, you need honest-to-goodness, homegrown, protein-packed power in a stick. You need Wenzel's Farm. Quality cuts of meat handcrafted in small batches and naturally hardwood smoked for a great-tasting snack that delivers real energy. Power up and put the smack down on whatever your day brings with Wenzel's Farm. Real meat for real life.
Oh man, this is incredible.
Oh, wow.
Huh?
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. Hey man, grab me a meat stick. I think I can reach it if I just a little more. Just let me go a little. I can't. Just a little more. I almost got it. Careful! Oh God! No, come on, just reach. Reach. Just grab my hand. Grab my hand.
Give me the meat stick. This other hand's closer. The one with the stick is. Oh.
Well, hello and welcome back once again to Rocket League here on the NECC. I am Captain NECC, joined by FBI Tugboat and Tugboat. 2 Game 7s back to back. It has been an insane night. We just got to wrap up the Carleton Ravens versus UCF Knights Academy, and now we got one more game on the docket.
Una mas. One more best of 7 here. We got Texas Tech taking on the University of Houston. About 500 miles, I believe, separates Lubbock, Texas, where Texas Tech is at, of course. And the University of Houston, I'll give you guys one guess where in the great state of Texas the University of Houston is at. About 500 miles and only one game in the series difference, right? Texas Tech coming on in here at 2-1. We're staring down the barrel of University of Houston at 1-2 as of right now.
Yeah, and right now I got to tell you, I mean, Texas Tech, I mean, they are looking to be the favorite in this matchup, not just because they have, you know, the record of going 2-1, they have the better record, but because Texas Tech, I think, has just been all around a really good esports program. And that's not to say that, you know, University of Houston does not. I just feel like Texas Tech has been in the game longer and has a little bit more experience in the collegiate scene for esports. So I think they are going to have a little bit of an advantage here, but that's not to say that, you know, Houston can't come through and get the dub. I just think this is going to be a tall task.
Yeah, a tall task and a rough ask here. A lot of support, as Captain NECC was saying, for Texas Tech. Let's talk about their trio. Wilds, Buki, and Bramble going to be making up this Texas Tech Red Raiders trio here on the virtual Rocket League pitch. Taking a look at the University of Houston, I believe this is the Cougars. 99% sure this is the Cougars. That's Polka Dot, Anubis, and Zulfi making up this trio here, Captain.
Yeah, I'm actually familiar with this trio. I've seen them play before, so I know what I'm getting myself into, this exact lineup. So again, I do have hope for them. They are very talented, for the record. Like, this is the last time I've seen them play, they are actually like pretty good. So again, I think they are more than capable of taking on this Texas Tech team. I think it is more you know, favorable for Texas Tech, but at the same time, this is by no means like, you know, a one-sided lane one way or the other. It's just that, you know, the University of Houston, they have got to be on their A game tonight, and if for whatever reason there's like any type of distraction, or if like even just like one issue goes wrong, I think it could be devastating for Houston.
Tech winning off a kickoff. It's a little bit of aggression here, and now a physical play. Buki trying to get on top of this one, as well as now taking it from the corner. Some solid defense here played so far from the University of Houston. That's the red team, assuming obviously they have multiple squads.
Yeah, you can see Wiles now going to be going up high. Misses the flip reset, loses possession in the process, and here comes Bramble, able to get a nice wall pinch. Gets it off the backboard, gets cleared out by Anubis. Anubis now with free range going downfield and just puts a little bit too much sauce on that pinch.
Just a little bit, as you said. Zulfi trying to edge their way towards the middle of the field. Wilds, that's a solid angle, and forced to play it twice. Nicely done, Polka Dot. Perfect time, perfect positioning. And really all those two things were just parking the bus, you know, throw it in the park, take the keys out.
It might as well. I mean, and that's what we have been seeing so far from Houston. But the only problem is that right now they have been playing mostly defense. You know, we're starting off very early, and we have seen Houston in their own half more often than not. Now they're able to break out, and they can start getting things done on offense. But we have already discussed this in several series so far, is that the shot count matters. And right now the shot count is favoring Texas Tech.
Whew. Texas Tech just pulls out the 6-gun, shoots a quick one across the bow right here. There's a couple of really solid offensive opportunities here for the Red Raiders. None of them coming down quite so yet, though. University of Houston Red. Try to get a swipe on that one, not going to happen. I mean, and the Cougars have really not spent like very much time in the offensive third at all.
Wilds is being so cheeky right now. I mean, they're just being a bruiser. And not to say necessarily that they're going out of their way to get a demo, but if a demo or a physical play presents itself, they're not letting it go. And speaking of, you can see Houston and Polka Dot clearly not letting go of those shots because they keep getting save after save.
Bramble has to climb the tree to get up to that one. Barely does, but has to burn all their boost to get to it. And the University of Houston continuing on with their probably second real offense of this game. Never mind.
Yeah, they have a full tank now.
Is it just me or both of these teams kind of a little lackluster to get to the ball? Like that example right there, the play right before this that resulted in Texas Tech getting back to the offense?
Yeah, I will chalk that up to game one. Because, again, we are in game one, so it feels like both teams are still trying to find their footing. And we're seeing a lot of that polite Rocket League that we've seen in our previous series. And being not so polite, okay. Polka Dot able to be the first on the board here for Houston.
It might have just had, like you said, game one. Maybe it's warm-up. Maybe it's even jitters from the broadcast. Maybe it's just a little bit of a feeling out here, a little first date or something like that between the UH and Texas Tech, and just kind of had to figure out what they're made of. Sounds like the Cougars like what they found as they score first.
They do. Now take a look at Zolfi. Did get the flip reset, but it was blocked by Bramble before they can get the second touch. Now Anubis 50s out all the way towards the side. Polka Dot, a little bit of boost here. Gets 50 out, and now the ball is going to be heading the other way. Counterattack opportunity here for Texas Tech. That one goes up a little high, but Zolfi is there to get the touch.
I mean, that seems like a song sung again 1,000 times over across, even just a single game so far. Zolfi is always there in the nick of time when they need to be. Now here's the demos that we became so accustomed to, Datsoka, across matches 1 and 2.
Take a look at Wilds. They have an opportunity. Great break up by Zolfi. Now they have an open net all the way back downfield, and Zolfi will get the second goal here for Houston.
Crazy stuff. Zolfi coming in yet again. A little bit of an open net situation. They're going to take advantage of it after the accepted possession. Love it.
Just 60 seconds remaining. Still doable. 1 minute in Rocket League time, that's a hefty amount. You can get the job done. However, the way that Houston has been playing defense, my goodness. Good luck. That's all I got to say. As you can see, they are trying to send some slap shots their way, but still, especially with Zolfi out there headhunting, it's going to be a little bit difficult.
Oh, it's going to be difficult. It is going to be difficult. 35 seconds right now. UH has still continued on into the offensive pressure and whatnot. Polka Dot tries for this one. That was almost a really bad angle here for the Texas Tech squad. But hey, if a statement needed to be made from this University of Houston squad, it has definitely done so. They remain in the offensive. Yeah, and whatever they figured out after that first 60 seconds or so, that is what they used to go forth and so far put up a donut area in the side of the Texas Tech scoreboard.
Yeah, that'll just about do it. There's really no coming back from this. The final second will tick right on away as Houston will draw first blood here in the series.
Nicely done. A little shutout this one off. Interesting fact, a shutout has been pitched in the first game of all 3 series so far. That was 2-0 for the side of Davenport Black over Mizzou in the first match that we broadcasted. 1-0 Carlton Reavers, now 2-0 for the side of the Houston Cougars.
Yeah, and honestly, I don't think that really is a reason to get into analytics here because the gameplay pretty much speaks for itself. The shot count clearly one-sided, and it really started out, going one way and then immediately the other. It felt like for the first half, Texas Tech was really in control, and out of nowhere, University of Houston, they just flipped the script and started taking control of the ball. They started applying so much pressure, and they forced Texas Tech to really collapse in their own half, and were constantly having to try and break through that midfield line that we saw Houston there just absolutely dominating. You had even mentioned it, especially on the defensive side when Houston did have to play defense. It was almost impenetrable for the side of Texas Tech. So again, some great lockdown pressure coming from the side of Houston.
Yeah, there was opportunity for Texas Tech towards the beginning of this game. That quickly just got evaporated away as for Texas Tech, offensively for them, and that just quickly got evaporated away because honestly, what it was is the Houston Cougars just maintained possession of this ball for the vast majority of that game number 1. We'll see if they're able to get it going in a similar fashion for game number 2.
Well, already Houston wasting no time here, looking for shots as 2 back-to-back saves from 2 defenders. And already it's looking sketch. I gotta tell you, I mean, we're already seeing Texas Tech. They were forced to come up with so many saves in the previous game, and now here we are again. Not even 30 seconds gone, and Texas Tech had to recover 2 back-to-back saves.
Just a quick one here. Maybe not one that they were really anticipating either, I gotta say. I mean, the Houston Cougars probably anticipated having a little bit more spacing. That's probably really the main thing here for their squad, to go forth and pass these balls, try and get points, plays out, trots it over 1. Nicely done. So here you see their teammate round around here. Who exactly is that? That's Anubis, maybe?
Yeah, that no, I'm pretty sure that was Anubis.
Yeah.
Yeah, because again, that didn't look like Polka Dot. I'm pretty sure it was Anubis. Yeah, they were definitely getting involved there. They were stirring up the back line for sure. Now an opportunity could be developing for Texas Tech. Wilds looking for a teammate in the mid. They were there, but so was the defense. And unfortunately, the third player is all the way back. As you can see, Bramble does get the save, able to clear it away. Looking for a fast break upfield. Zolfi now on the defense, able to come in clutch for Houston, as the follow-up now will go off the backboard. And the shot will be saved again by Polka Dot.
Wow, nicely done. Polka Dot showing up in the defensive side of this one. See how this continues on between these two teams, and if it does really, because the University of Houston has struck first in the beginning part of this series, and has done it again in game number 2.
Ooh, that is a big demo right there. That should be easy buckets there for Buki, as now Texas Tech are able to get on the board.
Love it. Love it. They weren't able to do this one in game number 1. Now they're able to here. I mean, you have to wonder just how long it's going to be before a team is able to put this up. That's not really a sustainable, endeavor to just, maintain continuously no scores on boards. Going to have to plan for it.
And you know what? They have also not been shy on the physical play. You know, they've been able to hit the bumps, they've been able to hit the demos, and they were putting shots on target. I mean, let's have a little bit of respect here. It's not that they weren't making plays in game number 1. It's just that Houston made more of them. So now Texas Tech able to catch up a little bit in ball possession here so far in game 2.
Polka Dot, there you go, getting it past 1. Tried to get it to the corner as of right now, but Bramble immediately going to be able to pick this one up. Sends it back the other way. Wilds is kind of in position. There's the pass. Buki tries to get to it first, but there's 2 different Houston Cougars on the other side. Bramble just a takeaway, and Texas Tech finds their first lead of the series.
There you go, and what a shot for Bramble coming off the wall here. Able to also beat out the defender, and once again, just skate that one right on by, and that's what that aggression brings you. Again, every single shot you take, you are pulling a defender, and sometimes you will pull 2 defenders. So as long as you're applying that pressure, you're causing disruptions on the defense. That's why it's important to constantly be putting shots on target, because you really never know what will go in.
Really never know. I mean, it's all about the opportunities there, right? And just finding that for yourself. 2 minutes to go right here. UUH definitely has plenty of time to get one, maybe overtime, probably a regular time to get it done in game 2 and put 2 games wins back to back here. Maybe a little bit easier said than done the way that Texas Tech is playing right now, though. Nice demo. Buki was about to tee off from this one.
Yeah, and tell you what, just for a little fun experiment, just to, kind of prove my point of that you never know what may go in. Tugboat, have you ever been playing a game of Rocket League online, and then, you have your chance, you have your possession, you hit the ball out, and then you're driving back in rotation, and all of a sudden it says FBI Tugboat scored, and you're like, wait, how did that, what? And then you have to look at the replay because you have no idea how that went in.
How did that go? But it does, and I'll take it whenever they do happen. Albeit might be not as often for me than to some of these players, but Hey, 60 seconds to go. Anybody from the UH Red Squad right now will take a goal any way they can get.
Yeah, this one's going to go up high. Is Polka Dot able to get the up and over, and that was on target off the ceiling. Wilds had to be quick on the wheels to get that one. Big bump in the net. The crossbar will be the one to save the day, as this one will go down and by the wayside.
Down bottom, double commit right now. Zulfi tried to continue possession off the wall after Polka Dot got initial, but that's a bouncer inside, and Texas Tech has taken a 2-score difference.
Yeah, we're just going to drop that one right in the breadbasket. I mean, there's really not much to say about that one. You got the initial touch there coming from Buki. Wilds was there to play cleanup. You know, again, that's textbook Rocket League. There's really not too much magic for that to happen.
No, yeah, you said it best right there. It's just kind of textbook, mathematical, 1 + 1 = 2 type once you get to these higher levels like this, to be honest with you. And that's going to be another one. UH Red, though, I mean, it's really not that big a deal. Again, a score difference of 1, a score difference of 10. In this case, a score difference of 3. A loss is a loss. Within scoring, all the same. 3 scores, 16 seconds. That happened. This game, 2, has gone the way of Texas Tech.
Yeah, at least the goal explosion is cool. I'm digging the T-Rex. I have it, by the way. I also, when it came out, went ahead and purchased it because I was like, I didn't care about the car. Like, I don't want a Jeep in Rocket League, but that goal explosion, okay, that's pretty cool. But with the final few seconds ticking away, that should just about wrap it up here in game number 2. Texas Tech able to answer back against Houston.
Nicely done. Nicely done. This is exactly what we were looking for in our, searches for nice, even series. 4-1 could have very easily been 3-1 after Texas Tech takes what they would call a garbage time goal. Regardless, lead the lead. 5 saves Texas Tech, 4 saves UH Red. Looking at 8 shot attempts here. UH Red, only 9 on the other side of Texas Tech. Yeah, so the big differences here just comes all the way down to the scoring and the quality of shots, right? The quantity of shots and the quality of the saves are pretty much the same right here. But the amount of goals just simply went in. The amount of quality shots and the quality shots turned into points.
My brain is broken because Buki didn't break 400 points. But of the 4 goals, they had 100% goal participation. They had a playmaker medal. So how did they not get at least 400 points? They were like at 390, they were like right under it, but yeah. Still though. And if anything, that tells me, okay, and I think it's just disrespectful to Buki because again, playmaker medal is my favorite medal. I'm biased, okay? Especially when we're talking about goal participation because they did get 1 goal on top of that. So they were involved in every goal scored by Texas Tech, and yet they were at the bottom of the scorecard. But what that tells me is that they didn't get too many touches on the ball. But when they did, it resulted in goals.
Low levels, you always have to worry about teammates or even yourself, just kind of getting that ball chasing mentality. I will proffer that as the exact opposite of Captain NECC. Those quality touches, not just quality shots and whatnot, quality touches. And the fact that you got involved 100% of your team's goals tells me that, with the least amount of points on your team, yeah, that's a team I'd like to play on. Texas Tech on the defense here early.
And again, this is how every game has started so far. Texas Tech being on the receiving end of a lot of early aggression. But we already know Texas Tech, they like to play the long game, and dare I say, I would consider them a second-half team. I feel like they show up, after 2 minutes and 30 in a major way. Meanwhile, you can see they're already ringing the posts here, and they are now applying some of that early aggression back the other way onto Houston.
Nice little rattler right here, scramble. Just twisting and turning in the air, trying to get this pivoted aerially to block this ball away. It's going to down the gutter right here, down the sidelines. Not going to happen. Bramble taken away. Wilds 50. Off to the corner. Zulfi should be able to pick this one up and does. Pass 1, pass 2. If the pass gets there, oh, Polka Dot had a wide open opportunity, and it is not just squandered here, Captain NECC, but sent the other way.
That's what happens when you miss a wide open net opportunity. You miss the wide open net opportunity, you're giving one right to the other team. And it is literally illustrated live. We just saw it. It's unfortunate. It feels bad. I wouldn't even say it's their fault for missing the shot. I just think there was just too much speed. They couldn't keep up with it, and they couldn't get to the ball in time. And because they hit the ball with such force, it went the other way just as fast.
Just the matching momentum there is just such a difficult task, right? when you're trying to like just switch mentalities as well, offense into defense and vice versa, just so difficult. You have to pay attention to the rotations though, as it is. Only a 1-score difference here. That's advantage Texas Tech. Bramble choosing not to bite into this one. Buki didn't have boost to get there. Their teammates gotta know that as well as Anubis sends the skyward. Couple of demos coming out for both sides in these teams. Is that on point? No, it's not. Buki almost off the ceiling.
I feel like had that been hit by someone from Texas Tech, it would have registered as a shot. So I will be willing to say that it was going there, But they hit the corner. I think they are a little fortunate there that one didn't go in.
Oh, up to it again. Buki ready to block the shot, anticipating pressure, or not pressure, but influence from teammates' movements and actually making contact with ball, not happening. Bramble just kind of waiting in the wings as Buki comes up to this one. Wilds finds the demo's further efforts down bottom. Oh my goodness, Buki with a dagger from on high.
Literal chef's kiss, because that play was perfection. That is how you transition back to the midfield. And notice I was watching that when Texas Tech were transitioning back to the mid, they didn't even bother going for the 100 boost because they didn't need it. They went directly for the pennies. They went for the 12 boost pads. And then they were still able to put themselves in the right position to make the play happen and then have a beautiful follow-up with the demo. Speaking of, and then also a beautiful follow-up with the shot.
Speaking of twice, seems like, dude, it's literally like all like revenge, like honor based out here. Like, you demo me immediately, abandon all other things. That person must be respawned to their side of the pitch. It's a mental game. You cannot let your opponents win. I love it. 90 seconds to go. A little bit of a cushion, but maybe a bit of a dangerous lead. Only 2 up here for Texas Tech. Not time to let the foot off the pedal yet.
Absolutely not. And you can see already Bramble not letting the foot off the gas as they get up for the early challenge, being able to break up the offense from Houston. And now Polka Dot with an opportunity, but unfortunately not a lot of boost to work with there. And not only that, but it looks to be a double commit. Going to scramble Houston a little bit here. Anubis able to break a little bit of room, as now this one will be cleared out back the other way.
Quick one. Wilds almost gets there. Buki tries to file it up. Not going to happen. Anubis on board with them right now. Is that they're just kind of waiting in the wings looking for a pass here. Got to get aggressive. You got to get this ball out of here. You got to clear it quickly. If you get scored on again, that sucks, but just not going to matter at this much time.
Yeah, exactly. And then, again, the ball control coming from Texas Tech, it has been on point. I mean, they're literally eating away at the clock. Notice that when they get touches on the ball, they're not sending an absolute laser to the back of the net, right? They're slowing things down. They're forcing Houston to come out of their net to chase them. They're not going to give the ball away. They're not giving possession away. They're going to force Houston to make the move, and therefore draining the clock in the process. And it speaks for itself. We are out of time. The clock has hit 0, and it will be Texas Tech taking yet another game onto the scorecard.
Nicely done. Nicely done. So those 0-2 to start out. They got shut out of a game in a 4-1 impressive 3-score advantage. Again, could have been closer to a 3-1 than 2-0 here in this, forcing a shutout of the University of Houston. And now let's turn our attention to 8 shot attempts versus 3 and 0 saves. None necessary. Unnecessary.
That is the point that I was going to make, because to me, that is what stands out the most. 3 shots, 0 saves. That means you are not putting shots on target. That means that game should have been 3-2. 3 shots, 0 saves. Houston should have had 3 goals. I'm sorry. Like, and don't get me wrong, I could be harsh in my criticisms. I'm the villain of Rocket League. I'm bald. I own a cat. I'm a villain. I don't know what to tell you. But I have got to call it like I see it. When you have 3 shots on target and 0 saves from the opposition, that should be 3 goals. It's like missing a free throw in basketball.
I mean, there were a couple open net shots. What, that was Polka Dot, right? There was Polka Dot with at least 2 of them. They were like literally as open as you get and just total whiffs. That should have been it. That should have been it. No saves necessary when your opponents are just straight up whiffing.
And then on top of that, Texas Tech answered back with 8 shots of their own. So, I mean, again, don't get me wrong, the quality is there from Houston. You know, you're looking at shots that woulda, shoulda, coulda gone in, but right now Texas Tech is just beating them out in the quantity.
Eventually, quantity turns into quality, but I understand what you're saying, right? Like, especially in Rocket League, if you just spend all of your time making shots and your opponents never really possess the ball, well, that's a pretty good guarantee that you're only going to be having to play offense, not really ever having to play defense, never really having to foist away shots. As it is, UH Red has been forced to play a lot of defense here early, first 45 seconds or so, as we've seen, I think, a couple of saves and a couple of shots attempts already. There's another shot save, another shot attempt.
Well, here we go. Should be an opportunity here for a counterattack. Zolfi gets the touch. Anubis is there to finish. And Houston get on the board first here in Game 4.
There you go. First time in, what, 6 minutes or so? This is wide open nets. Anubis isn't going to miss it these frequently. 59 seconds in, I should say. And UH Red strikes first.
59 seconds in. 59. Going to portal 1. Sorry. Again, that's an old me from a long time ago. And Zolfi is playing in the here and now as they are able to get a kickoff goal in a matter of 8 seconds.
Okay, so coming into this game, Texas Tech was outscoring University of Houston across 10 minutes of Rocket League 6-1. If you include the first game, okay, that's 6-3 still. Well, they've gotten 2 goals already in the first minute.
You want to hear a little bit of a fun fact about me is that when I first started commentating Rocket League, like my gimmick would be that I can actually speak and commentate extraordinarily fast, and at the time my nickname was the Rocketeer Auctioneer.
I love that.
Just a little fun fact about my history.
You want to give it a shot?
Yeah, absolutely. Now you can see coming down the field. It's going to be Bramble now. Going to be able to take the shot, but no, it's going to be going out to the side. Houston not going to be able to recover. It's now Zolfi going to be going up high, trying to take it all the way downfield. Here comes the touch. It's on it. It is in. Anubis is good for 3.
There you go. UH Red setting the man up perfectly. And I'm not talking about a Rocket League player on that one. Anubis, fine as it gets, is brought to you by the best. Love it.
3-0 now, a complete turnaround for Houston. I mean, my goodness, I really don't know what else to say. It seems just like a night and day difference, and now they're going to go for 4 and nearly get it.
Wow, yeah, so I don't know if Texas Tech is kind of like early getting into that, okay, just pour it on to offense type mentality, but there's been a couple of opportunities. You know really what it was? As I'm saying this out loud, I'm realizing what it was. Texas Tech's defense has just been a little bit loose this entire series thus far. I mean, they've only given up 3, but at the same time, there's been at least 2 that we saw one member of University of Houston miss outside of any other ones that could be tallied outside of that, right? The first one here was a wide open goal. Nobody even in the vicinity. Red Raiders here just need to pay a little bit more respect to the defensive side of this ball.
It throws me every time I hear Red Raiders because Texas Tech is currently on the blue side of things. So it's like, no, I know they're the Red Raiders, but like my brain is just like, no, they're blue. But no, yeah, I mean, right now this is absolutely impressive coming from Houston. I mean, this Texas Tech team just went on an absolute scoring frenzy in the previous game, putting on some pretty impressive goals, and now they are held to 0 after 3 minutes of regulation.
So we've got a little bit of time left, but this isn't going to be how they're going to do it. Zolfi, another shot attempt right here. No block necessary, as it was not really on point. Maybe a little bit of a common theme between these two teams. We see Texas Tech just desperately trying to get this ball past the midpoint. The attempt for backboard. Polka Dot says, I'll take that. Off the wall, goes for the nose down hit. Tries to walk the dog all the way inside. Texas Tech member even, I think, had a little bit of assistance from the teammate in trying to get that defender out of the way, a little bit of blocking.
Yeah, again, and really not much doing for Texas Tech here in Game 4, as, you know, Houston has just been controlling the ball the entire time. I mean, possession looking a little one-sided here, and the majority of the time, the ball has been in Texas Tech territory, and that has been the real issue. Also, that, unfortunately, the double commits from Texas Tech aren't helping. So I mean, you still got time. There's a minute left to go, but at what point you got to start playing for next?
Yeah, I mean, 10 seconds or so right here, that's what you were saying, but especially as the Cougars get multiple demos right here. Again, their main opponent is no longer named Texas Tech. It is now named, well, I take that back. 38 seconds and 2 scores is much easier to do.
I mean, it's still in there. This is where we're talking about the realm of possibility and probability, right? We are right now in possibility, okay? It is possible. Is it probable? Probably not, but that remains to be seen. If they can come off with a fast goal off the rip, 100%, they're back in it. Not anymore.
Not going to happen. Yeah, there you go. Polka Dot, their scoring woes have ceased. This is off of kickoff, and because they picked up big boosts along the way. Well, look at that line. Just a perfect line all the way down. UH Red has taken this game number 4. We're going to be going down to essentially a best-of-3 series.
Yeah, I was saying you get a quick goal off the kickoff for Texas Tech to stay alive and not going the other way. And there it goes again. All right. You know, what was once possible is no longer.
I mean, Texas Tech took a 4-1 game. It's just UH Red's turn. Texas Tech has poured a lull into offense and just trying to get one goal to, kind of try to make it within 2 at the 4-2 scoreline. Not going to happen. 23 seconds to go. We may still see another score right here. Okay, well, Texas Tech, not for lack of trying. That's that much, Captain.
Yep, absolutely. And now, Houston could very well find another. But again, like you had mentioned, we have seen this earlier. This is just Houston's turn, right? So again, still plenty of games left in the series. This one is definitely gone the way of Houston. They played phenomenally, well deserved, as now they will even up the series.
Well done. Well done. Little executioner there right there for Zulfi. Love it. Yeah, and this was just Zulfi's game. I wanted to get to the numbers before claiming it, but 2 assists, 2 goals, 3 saves, and 8. Knock, knock, knock is this thing on 8 shot attempts there from Zulfi. Just completely stamping their name onto this game. Number 4, tied series we go right here. Any other numbers that stand out to you?
Yeah, 8 saves. That is 100% what stands out to me. When you're looking at, the shot count, it wasn't that big of a difference. And there was a difference, but it was the 8 saves compared to 3. That is just absolutely phenomenal. There was 2 players on the team of Houston that got Savior medals, and then the third got 2 saves. They were only 1 off. So again, it was that impenetrable wall of defense that just suffocated that midfield presence. And then whenever we did get to see Texas Tech break through that midfield line, that line got pushed back in front of the goal line. And then once it did, there was no getting through it.
No, there was not. I mean, the story of this is a pretty well-rounded University of Houston squad, and then a offensive-minded Texas Tech squad. Its defense is just, like, the transitions are just really, really fast, and sometimes they're just not there. A lot of the reason why we had a 5-1 scoreline in game number 4, but we got at least 2 more games of Rocket League after the University of Houston has tied this one back on up.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, they have, but here we are on Farmstead here in game 5, looking to come in with a tiebreaker, and already the aggression coming from Houston is now finally Texas Tech able to take possession and go the other way. This shot is on target. Buki is able to score first.
Nicely done. Texas Tech strikes first, draws first blood, and this is from a while out as well. Gotta love the effort getting there from that UH Red member, though.
Yeah, absolutely. As long as you're on the pitch, you go 110%. Like you do not leave anything to chance. You go. Like, and again, that's what I have heard throughout my experience in traditional sports as well as esports. When you are on the field, you are moving all the time. You are giving 110% any second that you are on that field.
Oof. Almost an opportunity golden there for Texas Tech. Would have given their all on the field. Way Bramble now tries to get to the middle of this and just kind of gets this broken up by UH Red. That was a perfect transition to offense as well. As there's a couple of different Cougars members there though that don't have a whole lot of boost except for Zulfi, who came back for it. Great rotation.
Now Buki again will get demolished by Polka Dot. And now Zulfi looking to find a teammate here in the mid. This one gets batted away towards the side. Looking a little dangerous here is now one demo will open things up, but Buki able to come back and recover to clear this one away.
Nubis, not a name we've been screaming a whole lot of recently. Mostly been Zulfi. Obviously offensive efforts there in game number 4. And teammate Polka Dot, offensive efforts before then. Anubis raising up right now and then diving in. Okay, so a wise decision for UH Red members to actually play this one a little bit farther back as they were realizing that was just a really courageous attempt, right? Let them get that in, pick it up from the sides.
Yeah, 2 minutes gone here in regulation. Texas Tech still holding on to their 1-0 lead. As this one's going to find its way back in towards the middle, up high. Here comes Bramble, but it is once again beat out by Zulfi. Leaves it up for their teammate as they let it hit the ground, and Wild's able to get back just in time.
Nicely done. If Wilds put this a little bit farther into the inside of the pitch as well, then the back flip right there from the off-ender would have been able to get into it. Flip that one inside. Tie ball game is not what Texas Tech wants right now. They want to get back in the offense and make this a 2-score difference.
Absolutely, but again, you know, Houston is just making that unbearably difficult. They bump each other there in the recovery. That could give a little bit of leeway to Texas Tech. Zulfi now hits this one up on high. Polka Dot with the response puts it right back down and into the corner. Bramble, 50s, out towards the mid. A big whiff there. Opportunity maybe. Is now Anubis not able to beat out Wilds, and now we're going the other way.
Possession changes, possession changes. I mean, this is how Texas Tech got to a 1-0 scoreline. I'm sure they're still content with it. Obviously, they'd like to have scored in all of these, but just kind of going back and forth. Now, aerial demos right there. Little bit of danger here, but gets to it and mostly foists this away. Zulfi taking the front position and rotating with their teammate, trying to get this centered. Scramble has other ideas.
Yeah, pretty much a stalemate. Like, we're in a gridlock. It feels like for like the last 3 minutes of play. I mean, Texas Tech scored, and then there was really not much following after that. Still plenty of time here, 1:20. But, I mean, both of these sides, you know, it just seems like they're going for these long clears, as we see another one, and it just kind of gives possession away, and then we just stay stagnated.
I gotta agree with you, man. I haven't really seen like a fantastic offensive pass to the inside that hasn't been covered up immediately like that one in a while, honestly. Offense is reigning supreme in a game that just saw that in the previous one. A little bit too high. That should be on point, and it is. Tie ball game.
Yeah, that's what happens when you miss the touch. And again, we've seen this so many times. You constantly pepper the net over and over and over again. The only difference is you know, we have seen the shot count go up for Texas Tech, but especially in the previous game, Houston has just been batting them away in every touch. Like, one player goes, that's going to be one touch. In that instance, just now for Texas Tech, they had 2 players jumping the ball, and neither one of them got a touch on it.
Gotta get at least one of them to maintain possession after both of them make such efforts onto the ball. Make your efforts count, and I mean, we've gotten overtime in every series so far, 2 in the first one. I believe we might be looking at that one in this third match here. We see a 2-0 lead, or 2-1 lead at one point here for Texas Tech. University of Houston gave it back to who's in the what's 5-1 last game. Now as even gets near 7 single-digit seconds before overtime.
Yep, it's looking that way. The final second ticks off the clock. The ball will hit the dirt, and we have OT.
Okay. Any predictions here at Soka?
Absolutely not.
Okay. Another 8-minute overtime?
Did we have an overtime yet in this game? I don't think we have.
Not in this series, no. We had 2 in the first one and 1 in the second one.
Yeah, okay, so if no one has won an overtime, then no, I don't have a prediction.
Gotcha.
Once someone wins an overtime, then I'll be like, yeah, they're going to win the next one. You know, that's when I'll make a prediction.
Yeah, I love that one. I love that one. It's fair. Oof. How did Buki even get there? Sorry, but how did Buki even get there? Like, just twisting, and I don't think they really had much boost to do it with. Well, Buki performing miracles here in overtime. I mean, this has got to feel like the game right here, right? Like, after both teams have taken one, shutout first with University of Houston 2-0, then 2-game run from Texas Tech, and then a 5-1 from the University of Houston, this has got to feel like a defining factor, right?
It definitely does, especially when you're going into what would be match point off of an OT win. It is just like the biggest momentum boost. And momentum, I think, plays a factor in Rocket League more than any other esport. Because again, it is a very mental game. Again, you have to have so many levels of mechanics in Rocket League that even like the smallest thing can trip your brain up and cause you to make mistakes. So if you're again harping on the last match, your brain is just focused on that OT. You're not going to be able to play in your next game.
Oh. No opportunity. Zolfi says, I read you like a book, and I like the author. 100 seconds into this one, despite some best efforts here from Texas Tech. Nothing happening so far. Bramble on the top again. I feel like Bramble has just been playing these backboard defenses so perfectly. Not just in overtime, I mean like the past 3 games, really.
And Buki now getting the demo here. Bramble able to follow it up. The shot is on, but once again, who answers the call? It is Zolfi.
No, Buki, once then twice against the corner wall there. Got another half a Rocket League game going via overtime as of right now, folks. No hit actually there. Zolfi gonna be able to pick it up in the back, and Wilds as Buki flying over him after his possession is given over, and then Anubis and Zolfi trip up over each other and guarantee that neither can do anything about the ball.
Well, here we are, much like we were for the entirety of regulation at a stalemate. Getting rather stagnant, but that rebound looks good. Bramble is able to get it to go. Texas Tech will take the lead in the series.
There you go. There you go. And it's no surprise that this is how this kind of boiled down, right? Just possession change. Okay, shot this way over, gave it to a teammate on the other side, and then it's taken away as they're trying to put it back, right? Then it all just boils down to a defense just not being super ready. Taking a look at the numbers, the saves is definitely, that's 7 saves for Texas Tech, only 4 for the side of the UH Red. And, I mean, even shots, UH Red definitely has the advantage there. We have 100% assist ratio for both sides. Obviously, it's a little bit easier for one score than 2, but still.
Yeah, the only thing that's really sitting off to me is that Anubis in that game recovered 1 shot and then no other statistic. You look at the other side and their bottom of the scorecard, they didn't have any shots. They had 0 on their bottom of the scorecard for Texas Tech. However, that person that had 0 shots recorded had 2 saves and an assist. So again, they are getting involved in the play. Even though they aren't the shot taker, at least they are getting involved in some aspects, because who's to say that those 2 saves didn't result in fast break plays that resulted in goals? Again, it's that ripple effect. So I really need to see more activity coming from Anubis, because just only having 1 recorded shot just simply isn't going to get the job done. And it might not even be their fault. Again, it could be a team thing, because this is a team game. So either the other 2 players aren't getting Anubis involved, or Anubis just simply is not getting involved themselves. It's one way or the other.
I feel like if that was a problem, like not getting them involved, it'd almost be like a structural problem. 0 shots across an 8-minute Rocket League game almost feels like relegating yourself to that defensive position. And I say that obviously because of the stats otherwise, and then just a complete lack of anything else here. As it is, Match point here for the Texas Tech Red Raiders. One more game and this series will be over. This is the last series of our night as well. We had Davenport Black going down with Mizzou earlier. They were able to take that one down 4-3. Carlton Ravens going against the UCF Knights earlier as well. Now Texas Tech and University of Houston in an absolute barn burner. All of these Division I as well, people.
And now going off the backboard, Texas Tech trying to clear it out. Bramble with a good face time there in order to bat that one away. Way to put a hand up and just deflect. As Bramble now is going to send the long ball all the way downfield. And now we're playing at the mid as Wilds is able to throw this one hot off the backboard. Does get deflected away. Taking another opportunity. The pass is there, but I don't think they were ready for it. It looked like it was going well, but I don't think Buki was prepared.
Ooh, I know that Texas Tech wasn't prepared for that one.
I mean, this was a laser here. I mean, there's really nothing you could do. I mean, you're sitting an absolute heater in 64 miles an hour into the upper left 90. Literally no one was there. That is open and shut goal there for Houston.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what Buki's ideas were. That was almost getting down on the just the touch the ball no matter how mentality. Double commit on the offense right there. They're going to be happy that Wilds comes up with some offensive pressure. This is forcing the hand of the defenders and allowing Texas Tech a little bit of time to reset and pick up boost.
Bicycle touches are so fun. Nice bicycle save, but they can't get it again. Bramble with the double touch finds the equalizer early.
I mean, just take a look at how it goes down, right? It's always methodical, it seems like. I don't know. Texas Tech here, obviously the issues kind of remain on the defensive side, but at least on the offense, they're able to go for it, still put up points on the board. Buki, second touch, not going to happen. Oh, man, that was so close. I feel like Buki was just probably coming a little bit too fast at that, and perhaps that is, kind of indicative of, a systemic Texas Tech problem and that has been, lying at the root of their losses thus far in this series to UH Red.
Well, they still have plenty of time to try and correct them. They have 3 minutes left in this game, and then they have an entire game afterward if it goes to Game 7 for the third time tonight. Meanwhile, Bramble able to 50 out Zulfi, who gets the touch towards mid. It is then again answered by their teammate. Bramble has to drop all the way back, is able to contest the shot. Back out to the corner we go as Texas Tech now trying to scramble to clear this one out of their own half.
Ooh, Buki. Okay, Buki's only going to purchase a backboard hit as the demo does come in. Wilds tries to save this across the middle of the pitch, but it's Anubis from top rope getting this one taken away. But Zulfi has all the boost in the world. We've seen what Zulfi can do before, and Buki reads it perfectly. That one's way too high, a little lower than a different story, and that one is poke a dot. Pokes a hole in the defense here, the Texas Tech, and puts another one on the board.
I'm convinced that Anubis deliberately put that one that high. That, to me, looked like a pass. I really don't think it was a shot because it was too high. If it was just, around the crossbar, I would have been like, you know what? Okay, that was just a missed shot that they turned into a goal. I feel like Anubis knew what they were doing on that one because they pulled not one but two defenders on that last touch. They put it up high. They gave enough room for Polka Dot to come down with the shot, and now Houston have a 1-goal lead with 2 minutes remaining.
Oh, okay. Okay there. 2 minutes is plenty of time for Texas Tech, but they're not going to be getting it done from the defensive side of this pitch. Bouncing ball, and Anubis almost with a solo play gets that one done. Polka Dot goes up, tries their own hand. Zulfi coming up to it, and Anubis is there for the savior.
Yeah, the third player has got to be ready for that one from the side of Texas Tech. Don't get me wrong, they were in position. It was good position, but I think you had to pre-jump that because the initial touch was good. You pulled the defender out. The follow-up touch, again, was going off the backboard. Very reminiscent of what we saw from Houston on their last timeout, and now they're going for it again. It's just that Texas Tech really needs to start jumping at more of these opportunities instead of playing a little bit too far back, which even you had mentioned they were doing that in earlier games as well.
Yeah, and it's just it's opportunities like that that are going to pass you by the wayside when you choose to play in such a way that it just doesn't set yourself up for success, really. 60 seconds to go, though. Texas Tech knows plenty about success. Now it's just getting it done here. To get one, bring this tiebreaker to something a little bit more feasible.
Oh, Bramble gonna get the follow-up touch. Open net. Nobody's home. Texas Tech able to equalize with just over 40 seconds remaining.
Wow. Wow. The fact that UH Red has left this at that open. I mean, Anubis had been beating feet down pitch for probably the previous 2 seconds because they realized what was happening right there. Texas Tech doesn't take that. That's seriously like a mark against them. As it is, tie ball game, 35 seconds left. And if Texas Tech puts up another one with UH Red's efforts, then that will be it for this series. A game 7 series, a game 7 series, and then a game 6 series. If UH Red takes it, we'll be going to game 7, one way or the other.
I mean, OT's still on the table as well. We got 15 seconds remaining. A big waterfall opportunity on the back of Houston's net. Wilds with the angle of a lifetime gets the go-ahead goal for Texas Tech.
How does this happen? So Polka Dot gets a really weird hit. Okay, that's all that happened. So Polka Dot goes up for it and tells the teammates, like, hey, I got it. But they don't really clear it by any means. And the simple fact that they let it just hit the ground right there so close opens the gate wide open for Texas Tech. 8 seconds. Backboard play attempted. Doesn't even get there after it's broken up by Bramble. Back on over to the corner. UH Red, got to keep this ball alive, got to get under it. Another hit right here. Ball kept mildly alive right now. Corner play, Zulfi out, sent wide, and Texas Tech takes it in 6.
I may have overhyped that last shot, but let's just remember the context in which it was in. Texas Tech were down with seconds remaining, trying to equalize. They get the equalizer, and then with, again, mere seconds remaining, able to get the go-ahead goal on a shot that no one saw coming. That angle from Wilds was sick. So, was I a little bit, overreactionary? I'm sorry. That's just who I am. I'm a very animated person. But you can't tell me that shot at that time and place was just awesome.
This is as good as it gets. Just perfect stuff. And you said it best. The shot no one saw coming. It seemed so frequently in this last series between Texas Tech and the University of Houston that the greatest predictor of victory was simply unpredictability, was simply going forth and doing something that your opponents could never see coming, whether that was solo plays, whether that was a wonky shot that didn't really seem like it was going to a teammate. We saw that one from the University of Houston just a little while ago. At the end of the day, wow, just a fantastic series and a fantastic series of series, man. Seriously, absolutely loved it.
Oh yeah, we had an absolute upper echelon of performances tonight. And for the record, I am astonished that some of these teams' records are the way they are because every single game was insanely close. As far as I'm concerned, every team that went up against their counterparts today were evenly matched. And that's honestly how I feel about it. And I think the records really don't do justice to the teams that currently hold them just because of how close their other games had to have been. The ones that we didn't see. I mean, again, these teams, they're performing. It just honestly speaks to the amount of talent that we have at the NECC. And you know what? Tonight has been a fantastic night. We got treated to 2 game 7s, a game 6, nearly going to game 7. Absolutely phenomenal. But here at the NECC, we always have more fantastic esports content. So don't forget tomorrow, Overwatch 2 at 7 o'clock EST here at the NECC. Tugboat, do you have any parting words for the folks at home before we sign off?
Just a fantastic time. I very much appreciate y'all watching. Big shout out to our producer on the day, Exotic, making our jobs as casters just that much easier. We very, very much appreciate it. If you liked what you heard, at FBI_ Tugboat, man, it's been a long day, and at Captain at Soka, I shouldn't see the Capitan, Captain at Soka, just spelled just like it is, folks, over there on Twitter and everywhere. FBI_ Tugboat, literally everywhere. Thank you, at Soka. That's all I got to say.
Well, that'll wrap things up for us tonight. Don't forget, just another reminder, tomorrow here on the NECC, Overwatch 2, 7 o'clock EST, we're going to have more great teams. We're going to have another pair of great casters. You're not going to want to miss it. Again, it has been FBI Tugboat. I've been Captain at Soka, and we will see you on the next one.
What exactly is a meat substitute or plant-based jerky? Call me a meathead, but when I want a meat snack, I want real meat. The kind you find at Wenzel's Farm and the only kind they use. handcrafted in small batches and naturally hardwood smoked right here in the heartland of America. Wenzel's Farm offers 14 flavors of mouth-watering protein-packed power in a stick, except no substitute. Wenzel's Farm, real meat for real life.
Oh man, this is incredible.
Oh, wow.
Huh?
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. Hey man, grab me a meat stick. I think I can reach it if I just a little more. Just let me go a little. I can't. Just a little more. I almost got it. Careful! Oh God! No, come on, just reach. Reach.
Just
Grab my hand. I can't hold it. Grab my hand.
give me the meat stick. This other hand's closer. The one with the stick is. Oh.
I used to view you as a mountain that I couldn't climb at first, but I've only stumbled over, died.